One.
Live from somewhere in North America, it's Monday night going in raw with your host, the man of the hour, the high priest himself, Etep Wakuyan.
Good Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, it is he, it is me, it is P double D. Etep Wakuyan in the place to be. I am the high priest. That's right. You should all worship at the altar. I'm just kidding. Don't worship at the altar of anybody except for, well, I don't know.
Only if you're Egyptian.
Whoever, yeah, I guess I'm Egyptian now too. Walk. I should start with the Bengals maybe. Walk like an Egyptian.
Yes.
Good Monday night, everybody. Thank you for joining us here, group. Thanks for the intro. That is, of course, my brother from another mother, the Groovinator from Raiders of the Lost Flicks. On hand this evening. Also, Tony Tone Deaf.
What's up, everybody? It's the world's wokest warrior, Tony Tone Deaf. Thank you for tuning in and listening tonight. Etep, thank you for having me on again.
You are welcome as always. And last but certainly not least, Linkalex number 7.
Normally I'd make a joke, but instead I'm going to take this time to give a shout out to Clownfish TV for finally reaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I like Clownfish TV. And
me too.
Course,
I do too. Their coverage on Disney lately has been on point, man. They've been really going hard in the paint with Disney, and they're big Disney fans too.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's what you can do when you're a paying customer. You can also be critical of the products that you consume, and that's the beautiful thing about us. And we're going to talk about being critical of products and things like that later on this evening. But we're going to acknowledge the chat real quick here. I'm just going to say their names because they know who they are. Flare X and Leo Red in the house. Careful, you guys are going to get pocket banned tonight. I swear to God, you will.
Well, we're playing in the right moment right now.
I'm telling you, man.
First one that makes a pegging joke is getting a pocket ban. No,
they're already both banned twice over then.
They already beat you to it.
Yep. They're already getting pocket banned. I'm just waiting for Chris to show up. All right, let's jump over to Box Office Mojo screen. This and you guys are gonna have to bear with me this evening because StreamYard is acting the fool.
StreamYard's being a little biatch tonight.
It is acting the fool. That's why we were kind of late starting. But we're right here. Domestic weekend number 10, March 6th through 8th, 2020. Onward, number 1 this weekend.
That's unexpected.
$39,119,861. And we're going to give a review of this movie next.
I had heard that it wasn't doing well. It looks like it did pretty well after all, unless just nobody went to the movies last weekend.
I really enjoyed this, and
me too.
I really have a bone of contention with the Fandom Menace here. Because I've seen a lot of channels kind of smack talking this movie, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. But let's take a look here at the worldwide on this one. So worldwide, it did 67,119,861,000. And the problem is with this, it really doesn't have very many other territories to cross into as far as openings go. So we'll see how this one ends up. This is a very low. It's the lowest opening for a Pixar just basically a Pixar movie since The Good Dinosaur, which I really didn't care. My kid really didn't even like The Good Dinosaur.
Never saw it. Yeah,
I didn't like it.
I'll be honest. I've only been actively going to movies for a few months now since I got the movie pass. I never sought out to go see Pixar movies because I'm always afraid that I'm going to be in the theater like a bunch of little kids and they're going to make a bunch of noise and talk and all that. And now that I have a movie pass, I'm not as worried about it. Plus, if you see something like that on a Thursday night, there's really not going to be too many kids in there. It's going to be adults.
Yeah, that was. We went to a Saturday night 7 p.m. showing, and there were still quite a few kids in there. Like I said, I took my son to that. It was one of the excuses. Let him stay up a little bit later. Number 2 this weekend, The Invisible Man, $15,132,340 in its second week of widespread release. This was up to $98,275,910 worldwide.
Can't wait till Alex sees that so we can bullshit about it.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one too. Honestly, that looks like a really good movie.
Me too.
Number 3, The Way Back, $8,170,000. $315. First week, Warner Brothers. This one is that's 800. Wow.
A couple of people are asking me to go see that, so I'm probably going to have to try to get in and see that sometime this week.
I've heard good things from a few big reviewers. So
I got to admit, though, I'm really not a Ben Affleck fan at all. So maybe I'll like it more that way. I don't know.
It had to be the right role.
Yeah,
Ben Affleck movie.
I think it's a good role for him, all things considering. But I think that's why I didn't rush out and go see it, because I'm just like, no, not a Ben Affleck movie.
Let's see. Number 4, Sonic the Hedgehog, $7,704,067, and it's fourth week from Paramount. Let's see here. This is up to $295,322,219 against that $85 million budget. So I think Sonic is doing just fine. It's going to get a sequel.
Going after that brass ring.
Yep. Let's see. Number 5, Call the Wild, $6.7 million, and worldwide total of $99,346,143 with the prequel. This is the prequel to Han and Chewie that we never got. Number 6,
Real Solo.
Jesus Christ, kid! Where the fuck did this hairy Wookiee come from? Sir, that's a dog, and you're senile. I told you I was done with fucking Star Wars, kid. Emma, a movie I've never even.
I don't care about the Force.
Fuck that Force, kid. Let's see, $20,697,850. I don't even know what this movie is. Overwhelming selfish young woman, medals and lies are friends.
It's a period piece, Pete, because they're wearing period clothing on the poster.
Wow. Yeah. Well, let's just skip right over that.
You mean you didn't go see Downton Abbey the movie?
I know.
Yeah,
I still have my testicles. I have no desire to watch Downton Abbey. If I want to hear,
don't be hating on Downton Abbey now.
Or Little Women, yeah.
I unfortunately, like I said, I saw Little Woman because the '90s one, because my sisters were, they watched that, and like there was a cartoon they watched.
I saw Little Women too. My favorite's that one with the Little Women and the really big lady, and the really big lady picks up the little woman. Never mind.
I was gonna say, if we're talking midget fetish porn again, then yeah. Number 7, Bad Boys for Life, with 3 still hanging in there, 8 weeks out from Sony, $3,022,087. That one is up to a grand total of $415,190 worldwide, and good for Bad Boys for Life for Will Smith and Martin. Number 6, this amazing pile of Smash the Patriarchy shit made $2 million.
I watched that video today.
Oh, what
is it? Computing Forever? Yeah.
I shared that.
David Cullum. Yeah, I'm subscribed to all his stuff.
It's the same. Let's see. This sack of shit.
Oh no, it wasn't David Cullum. That was World Class Bullshit.
Yeah,
World Class
Bullshit.
I've seen too many videos today. They're starting to blur together. God
this
damn it.
is up to 195 million, which means it's barely out of the red. It's not out of the red yet. And like I said, Box Office Mojo is usually pretty even keeled. They're not Rotten Tomatoes, but Pepperidge Farm remembers when this budget was $97 million. Now, after reshoots, your budget doesn't go down. Okay, that's as the commercial said. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Number 9, Impractical Jokers, the movie, 1.8 million, and this is up to probably 9 million worldwide. No international release on this.
They had a budget of about $350.
$350. Goddamn Loch Ness Monster. And number 10, My Hero Academia, 1.7 million worldwide. This is
did not see that. Is that an anime movie?
Yes,
it's an anime based on an anime show. Although usually stuff like this, they don't release it in too many theaters. Like maybe 300 theaters or something like that. They don't release.
Do you usually go and see these when they come out?
It depends on which one. I've been to see a few of them before.
Okay.
I've only seen 2 episodes of the show.
You have to understand, when it comes to anime, I am a pedestrian tourist discovering for the first time in my old life.
I'm glad it's doing good. I'm glad. Like I said, I've seen only 2. I think it's got a couple of 100 episodes. I've seen 2, and I liked it. I've been too busy with Castlevania, fellas.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to watch that one this weekend. No, so we are. That's the box office breakdown. I just want to kind of roll through that nice and quick there. So yeah, that's I I'm surprised Birds of Prey is still hanging in there, but that sack of shit won't be. It won't
They're
be.
going to leave it out there until they at least break even, and then because I know some theaters have already taken it out of the screens because it ain't making any money. It ain't making any money. You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip, people.
Nope. No,
Give
we
it
won't.
3 months, it'll be on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Oh,
2 or
look
3
what we
months.
got. They'll package it. With,
That's what they're going to do. They're going to do like they do with Catwoman when they packaged it with The Dark Knight just to get people to buy it.
Oof. Yeah, we'll package the Catwoman movie with the Dark Knight, even though the Dark Knight trilogy introduced
Or
a new
no, it
Catwoman.
wasn't a Dark Knight. It was Batman Begins. I don't know. It was definitely a Batman movie. Though. I know
yeah,
that. You know.
So
But-
you got to excuse me, but I got to ask the question that the audience is screaming at their phones right now. How was the hot lesbian action in Onward?
I will. Yeah. Are we moving into that topic next?
Yeah, we absolutely are.
Okay. Cool.
Moving on to Onward now because, like I said, this is my rant right here. I'm gonna talk right to the fandom menace for a minute, and I'm gonna say, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Okay, I've seen at least 4 or 5 videos. Oh, they're pushing the lesbians. They're pushing the LGBT. Do you motherfuckers know that lesbians and gays and people like that exist? And just their simple existence in a movie doesn't mean it's woke. When it's a one-off line that lasts 5 fucking seconds. I mean,
I was just gonna say it's what when I did my review, I didn't mention it because it's such an insignificant part of a very big movie that it wasn't really worth mentioning. And the only people that are calling attention to it are the media.
Yep, and there's this is the problem. It's a two-edged sword here because you've got the media trying to build this piece up. Okay, this little
making way too big of a deal out of it when what is it we always say on this channel, Pete, or on all our channels? We say if it's natural and it fits. If it's natural and it fits, then fine. If you're not trying to force an ideology on somebody, or it's not like it's breaking the fourth wall and saying now, kids, we want all you to grow up and not be straight. It's not like that. It's really not.
Literally, all she said was, "My girlfriend's kids are making me pull my hair out." And motherfuckers are boycotting this movie.
That's it.
You got channels going, ha, look, it's failing because the gay agenda.
It's about as on the nose as LeFou was when they did the Aladdin remake. They made a big deal out of that too, and he didn't even say anything. It was just implied. So
no, it just fucking. I'm like I watched a couple. Like I said, I'm not going to name who it was because it doesn't matter. There are bigger channels than me. I'm fucking throwing pebbles in the ocean right now. But as somebody who puts the fucking fandom menace tag on my on my thumbnails, and I rep that shit. But I'm not one of these fucking assholes who can't simply acknowledge the existence that there are gays and lesbians. They are part of this shit, and their simple existence in a property or a movie doesn't mean it's woke. They have a goddamn right. It just
I have
you. It's like you wonder why they call us bigots and fucking istophobes because motherfuckers cry over the stupidest little fucking shit, and god damn it pisses me off.
They become what they were going against. You got to stop and take a minute and think from not just thought A to thought B, but thought B to thought C. And many people don't do that.
I have friends of mine, good friends that I've known since childhood, that are part of the LGBTQ community, that most of them don't like woke Hollywood any more than we do. No. They don't want somebody parting the seas for them. Nope. They just want to be treated equally like everybody else.
One of my best friends that I met this kid in high school, and he's a gay conservative. I mean, and a lot of people that would make their heads go like that because it's like, oh my god, how can you do that?
I've heard of it before.
And he's more that way than me. I'm more socially liberal than he is, and which might sound fucking odd, but I mean, it's just like I'm not talking politics here, but in this context of this is not a fucking woke scene in this movie. It is really not.
No, it's not.
It happened. And was over like that. Like my wife, because I told her, I'm like, okay, so people are making a big deal out of this going in, and I want to know what you think, because like, she's way more,
it's like halfway through the movie before it's even there too.
Yeah.
It's not like something where it's like the movie was just waiting to get it out there and shove it at you. We were talking about this. It's like, I'm fine with natural integration of everything into a movie. As long as you're not taking one thing and replacing it with something else, what's to worry about? This is a movie. The other thing that irritates me about this movie, Pete, is I read articles. Oh, it didn't make all of the money this weekend. It's a big failure. Oh my God! And you just told me it's #1 over the weekend, and it makes me sad because here's a movie that's not a remake.
Nope.
It's not a reboot. It's a brand new freaking story. And it's really freaking good. And it's got some really, really good messages for younger people in it, too.
And it doesn't shit on fathers and men.
No, it's not shitting on single dads. It's not. It's not whining about the patriarchy. You have. It's not. It deals with colors without actually having people of color in the movie. You have orcs and elves. It's kind of I joke about this, but it's kind of doing what Bright tried to do, but kind of didn't do a very good job.
So I haven't watched Bright. Is that a movie or a show?
It's a movie that went directly to Netflix. Right? Okay. Yeah, right. You know what it's about. I don't have to describe it to you, but you know what it's about, right?
Vaguely, I saw a trailer for it.
Okay,
the other day.
It's basically Training Day or End of Watch, except the entire world that they live in happens to have orcs and elves and fairy wizards and all that kind of stuff, but everything's all David Ayer ghetto style. Okay, all right. Yeah.
So then that's one. Yeah, okay. So like tying that into Onward. There is a ton, and I watched Grace Randolph talk about this because her review came out 2 weeks ago. So after I saw
there was a lot of advanced screenings for this, so I was dodging them because a lot of my favorite people at review movies, I'm like, nope, I will not watch a review until I see the movie myself. Then I'll watch the review.
I thought, like I said, there was, if you broke it down, like you said, it doesn't really call out like colors, but it has different representation facets to it, based on like these people are elves, and like you said, it's like the mythical, magic, like the Manticore. Okay, like it's completely.
She was pretty cool.
Yeah, like so you have different representation in this movie, and yes, I'm using that word because it didn't matter. It didn't break up the story. It wasn't shoved out like that. It was there, and that's what made it cool, and that's what made it a good movie. I had no issues anywhere with this movie. The mom was a strong, she was raising the boys on her own. Of course, what's his name? Barley was, he was kind of like the father figure, the older brother, which is Chris Pratt's character. And Tom Holland.
He was great.
Yeah, Barley and Ian Lightfoot. And Tom Holland was really good in this. I haven't seen any of his other animated movies, but
I haven't either. Yeah, this would be my first.
With this, I was really happy with the dynamics between him and Chris Pratt. I thought they worked really well together. Everything sounded good.
There was a lot of messages in there. There was like, realize your full potential, appreciate the ones that love you, and you know what I mean? Some of those things like really got me in the feels, like big time, and I'm both of my parents are still alive at this moment, but everybody's suffered loss. I was really close to my grandparents; they're both gone, and I miss them. But it deals with that in a very, very satisfactory way. I was surprised the way that they addressed those issues. And it got me. I don't know, something in the theater was making my eyes itch. I was like.
I had that a couple of times.
I don't know what it must be this time of the year. Yeah,
just dust, fellas, just dust.
Yeah,
it's just dust. Yeah,
I think it was.
It was pixie dust. That's what it was. Yeah,
it was dust.
Not to change the subject, but have any of you seen 50-50 with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No, but I want to. It's on Netflix now, I believe.
Is it? Okay. It's on Hulu. That's right.
Okay, so it must have left. Yeah, it must have left Netflix then. Yeah, I know it was on Netflix.
I remember when this. See, I wanted to see it. I remember when the trailer first came out and it was in theaters. It was one of those movies I really wanted to see and never did. And I believe it's based off of a true story. But man, I was crying like a little bitch at the end of that movie. I mean, I haven't It takes a lot to make me tear up in a movie, and I mean,
Same.
They were
yeah.
just and.
Yep. Did we lose Tony?
Tony?
We're losing you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I blame
Barely.
Pete.
Either way, I'm probably not going to get laid till June because my wife saw me crying and I couldn't. So I definitely recommend the movie.
You say it's on Hulu now?
It's on Hulu.
All right, I'll give it a watch because I wanted to see it. It was in my queue.
What is it that I always
de-
say about kid shows? And it makes me happy that I'm finally seeing kid shows that don't suck. Okay, kid shows that don't talk down to its audience. Okay, kid shows that aren't over reliant on pop culture references. There's that trailer for Troll World Tour or something like that, and it's just nonstop barrage of pop culture references, kind of like what they did with the Emoji Movie. You can only take so much of that to where it's just like, oh, fuck you, and Onward does none of that at all in the entire runtime. And I'm like, it would have been so easy for them to do that, or have one of them say hello to my little friend or something stupid like that in the movie. They didn't do that. Doolittle did that nonstop as well. And it just, that shit gives me a headache more than anything. It's like when it's just pop culture references the movie and it has no substance. Onward's proof that you can make a kids movie that adults can enjoy too. And those are the good ones. Those are the ones that I wait for. Like if I had kids, I would go get them and take them back to go see this movie.
Yeah, like I said, he was more than happy with this movie. So, there was quite a few times, he was kind of clapping and stuff like that, and nobody really complained about her. You know what I mean? Little kids. So
no,
he had fun. There was another little boy in front, so it was kind of like every time Trey would clap, he would clap. It was kind of funny.
In your showing, did they show the Simpsons cartoon as well?
Yes, they did.
Isn't that weird?
I was not used to seeing the Simpsons like as a lead-in.
You know what that is?
Anything.
That's Disney showing off their license. They're like, well, we got, just to remind you guys, we got Fox now. They're our bitch.
They want to show those toys off.
Yep, they got to do something with that money they wasted on Fox.
God, that depresses me so much to think about.
Isn't it though? And I was watching last night. I think it was Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic and Doomcock were talking about how it wasn't. It was Clownfish that mentioned it. Yeah, Clownfish talking about how they gained nothing from the Fox acquisition. Just nothing.
No.
And they did it just to get back X-Men and Fantastic. Everyone keeps saying, that's not the reason.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
No, that's totally what they wanted. That, and they wanted the right to Star Wars too, so they could put that damn box set out.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. That's all they wanted. And at some point, they're also going to try to reboot Star Wars too. I do subscribe to that theory that they're going to, because it's too stupid for them not to do it.
Yeah.
I kind of look at this as a victory.
They kind of already rebooted. It was called Episode 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Solo.
And Episode 8.
Yeah.
And Episode 9.
A Solo story. And then what makes me laugh the most is now the media is, the fans are assholes, and we're going to talk about this more later, because Episode 9 is our fault because we didn't appreciate the greatness that was Episode 8. Go fuck yourself, huh? I mean, seriously. Like, okay, The Last Jedi is a piece of shit. That movie is garbage. It's trash. It should not exist. It should not exist. Nobody should ever have to bear witness to it. And
it's mean-spirited.
It is. It's a big fuck you to the whole franchise and all the mythos of it. It might as well be Taika Waititi featuring Rian Johnson. A big fuck you to your mythos is what it's called. I mean, that's basically what the movie is.
The thing the thing that makes me sad to bring it back to Onward again is what worries me about this, like, oh, well, we can't do original content because people only show up when it's a sequel to something. You know what I mean?
That seems to be the truth. I hate to admit it.
That seems to be the truth, and that pisses me off because it's like, here's a nice little story with some wonderful performances, some awesome animation. Okay, you expect a certain degree of animation from Pixar. They deliver here. I mean, the vehicles that they're driving the show look like they just drove right off the car lot. Okay, yep. I mean they're lifelike. Like you can't even tell. It's like, wow, how'd they get that cartoon in that actual van? You know, I mean, it's getting to that point now. You know,
Yeah.
You don't even think about it anymore. But you could tell a lot of love went into this movie, and you know, they're going to blame fans for not showing up when in reality it's probably something that we can't mention that's keeping people from going to the theaters.
Okay, my deal is what is the deal with saying the name of this gimmick? Because
you can't say it. Yeah, you cannot say it.
I heard little Miss Randolph say it 3 times within 10 seconds earlier.
Well, Miss Randolph is
Miss Randolph.
Yeah, she's privileged to different things that we are not privileged to. So
that's
also,
very presumptuous of you, Pete.
Mrs. Randolph is not part of the fandom menace either. So yeah. But you know,
Mrs.
in reality,
Randolph
that's
and
probably
Miss
what it is,
Randolph.
though. And also, I don't think Onward had a ton of marketing on it either. I mean,
No,
I didn't even know this movie existed until like a week ago.
yeah, there wasn't a lot of trailers for it. I mean, the trailers that I saw, I'm like, well, that looks kind of cute. I would actually go see that one, you know, because you know, especially when you see any kids movie, they show you all of the kids movies that are coming out that year, and most of them you're just like, oh my god, my god, oh my god. You know, where was this one? I'm like, well, it looks very different. You got a little bit of a Weekend at Bernie's vibe from it too. I was getting that, you know, like
that was funny.
They had I don't know if you've seen it in the trailer, but they had the legs walking around because they bring back half the dad, okay, and then the whole movie is about them trying to bring back the rest of dad because he only has 24 hours to come back to life. So they just take and they put like a sweater and, you know, a hat and some mittens on top of dad. So you got like that Weekend at Bernie's thing where he's just like running around and his arms are kind of flopping. They did some jokes with that too, which I thought were pretty funny. And I don't know about you, Pete, but those fairy biker gang, the biker gang fairies, I was in stitches, dude. That was a lot funnier than I thought it would be.
I was like laughing out loud more than my wife and my kid were.
See, you got these little pixie dust fairies riding life-size motorcycles. There's like 8 of them on each motorcycle operating it. And these little things got like this just big FU attitude towards everybody.
Oh yeah.
And I was in stitches. Even they had an arc though, you know?
They did.
It was a wonderful little film. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like I said, as Pixar movies come and go, this one was good. I had no issue with anything in it. I think it's a solid movie. The performances were good. The voice acting was on point. The animation was wonderful.
Yes.
As always. I mean, the animation was
the only issue I had, and I'm not even going to talk about them, is that there was a couple of tiny little plot holes, but that's just the adult in me. Like the kid in me is like, oh, get over yourself, you know, just like move on. It's a good movie, you know.
You can suspend your disbelief for a kid.
Correct. It's not like so glaring like, wait, what? I mean, I was still doing that, but that's just the way I am. The rest of this movie is like, man, I can't find any other fault in this movie other than what about that thing that you mentioned earlier that you never addressed it ever again? You know, that's just that's like a common staple in movies now. It's just they're called plot holes. You know,
yep.
If you set something up, you have to address it later. That's the rule. You know.
Patrick Wellman can like hearing you say. You can like hearing that, Adam.
Well, he can leave a note in my suggestion box, Alex.
Does anyone remember when he did that video? Was the same like "Shut up, plot holes don't matter."
Oh no, I must have missed that one. Yeah,
he was defending Endgame, and I think he put out a video like "Shut up, plot holes don't matter."
Well, that's a great way to start off your video and destroy yourself immediately.
I watched the video. You could tell because he called out like plot holes in DC stuff. I was like, okay, those ones make sense, but Marvel, don't make fun of Marvel.
Marvel can do whatever they want. Marvel can come over to my house and fuck my grandmother. You know. Come on,
I want to do that editing and just put like a Marvel logo over over Private Joker's face. And
dude.
You know what I'm talking about from the beginning of Full Metal Jacket.
You're a funny guy. Hell, I think I'll let you come over and fuck my sister.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Oh my god,
that would be perfect right there. Just put that Marvel logo, kind of like Jeremy from The Quartering does on his videos at the beginning. That would be fucking hilarious.
Look, man, plot holes, they matter. I'm sorry. Sometimes you can let some slide, but other times, like,
can we get that on a T-shirt, Pete? Can we get plot holes matter?
I would like
to be reviews.
I would like to do a T-shirt like that.
I want some profits from that. If I came up with this royalty, I want something from it.
Right.
Now you can either get me some royalties, or you can find a way to get Gal Gadot to come to my house. Either one's cool.
Jesus.
You get Gal Gadot to come to my house, I'll give up all royalties.
Very specific royalty there, Alex.
Hey, I aim high, okay? I aim high.
This is true. At least you have standards. Yeah.
If you're not aiming high, what's the point?
That's right, man. That's right.
Just
So
like Ruby Rose.
Yep. I don't know, man. I'm kind of she's I got a second. We got a highlighted comment here. We got our first R. Kelly sighting of the evening.
All right.
Holes matter. R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, the unofficial celebrity guest star of the Place to Be reviews.
Oh wait, holes and hose matter. R. Kelly. R. Kelly's nickname is IP Freely. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Onward, I would give. If I had to score it on the cheese curd scale, to borrow from my brother, the Groovinator, I would say I would go 4 out of 5 on that.
That's what I gave it.
I'd go 4 out of 5. That's
4 out of 5.
Yep.
It's not as good as like say
it's not Toy Story. It's not
Inside Out made me cry like a baby, dude.
I've never seen Inside Out.
I'm gonna tell you about Inside Out. I was in the hospital a few years ago, and that was on, and is me and my dad. Where I was actually a patient, and my dad was staying with me. We were watching that, and both of us are just sitting there rubbing our eyes and.
One of them things.
It's like it's a pretty good movie. Yeah, pretty good movie, Dad. Yeah, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that one got me in the feels big time.
Yeah, there's a few of those movies, man. Like Toy Story.
Up has its moments too, but I think those got me in the feels a little bit more. It's like you just kind of expect that out of a Pixar movie at this point, but it was great.
Well, Up, it was like the very first, 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh,
they're like,
man.
Here, he meets the love of his life. They go through their whole life and she dies. And it's like, then you got it like an hour and something.
Like, damn, Disney, you're really going dark with this one. You know, it's like, this is a kid's movie, right? Yeah.
Just shoot my dog while you're at it. Yeah, that
next thing you do is tell me his Old Yeller is a good time,
Oh, yeah. Joy this fall from Disney, Rob Schneider stars as Old Yeller.
On the CW.
Oh, that would be fucking El Terrible. El Terrible, as my friend Cleveland Brown says. Yeah. So Onward was good. I recommend it. If even if you don't have kids and you just want to go check out a cool, fun movie, it's that movie.
There was a lady and an older guy. I think they were on a date because I didn't get to see it on Thursday because I had a doctor's appointment that day, so I didn't go out Thursday night like I normally do. I went to the very next showing, which was like noon the next day, and there's a couple sitting next to me, and I think they were kind of giggling at me because the tears were rolling down the side of my face towards the last act during the big reveal, and I'm like, oh. Man, you got me, Disney. And you can't really hide that. You know what I mean? Because you're sitting right next to them. If you rub your eyes, you just look like you're being disingenuous. So it's like at that point, it's like just let them laugh. You got me. You got me, Disney. Damn it.
Yep.
I should say Pixar. You got me right in the feels, Pixar, and good on you for doing that. Seriously,
they know what they're doing, man. They know.
There are some things under Disney that's unfortunate, but when you do it right, we will acknowledge those on these channels. Yeah,
like I said, I'm not looking to just be a one-way echo chamber here. Nope. And that's like I said, that's one thing that really gets me about all these R. Kelly comments. I teared up while watching To Catch a Predator. R. Kelly.
It is. I think the reason we're kind of leading in with this is it is possible that new things can be made that are good. You just have to look. You have to look really hard for them, but they are there. And you have to appreciate the good where it's at, and we'll acknowledge where it's at, and we'll tell you where to find it.
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's and like I said, that's a problem with I see in this community is that everybody wants to just it's like as soon as one you see one article come out and it's like, oh my God, this is woke, that's woke. It's like you realize if everything is woke, nothing is woke, right? You do realize that.
Yeah.
So you can't just throw that out there at everything and see what sticks. Because
I wouldn't define Onward as woke. I mean, is there an LGBTQ character in there? Yes, but if it was actually quote unquote woke, then like we said, the things that they're addressing in the movie would not be there. All right.
No.
First of all, you wouldn't have 2 male leads. You know, that's one. You wouldn't have a father figure being depicted, like a single father figure. That's out the window. It's the same thing I said with The Invisible Man. I'm like, you can't call that movie woke because the things that woke movies do are not depicted in that film. You know, it's like they're definitely in Birds of Prey. But even us, you know, like we'll take like a certain amount of wokeness in a movie or a TV show or whatever. A certain amount of it we're kind of expecting. It depends on how full.
I love The Handmaid's Tale.
There you go. And wouldn't you say? And I've heard some things because you just got done watching Castlevania. Wouldn't you say that I've heard that there's a little bit of that in Castlevania as well?
Honestly, no. Castlevania, I wouldn't put in that same things like Onward. Like I said, it's nothing offensive. I see, like, there's something when you watch it, there's some people complain about. I just saw it, it's like, it just kind of carried on.
There you go. Well, I think what Pete's trying to say is you can't be ridiculous about this stuff. You know, it's like there's a certain amount of storytelling. It's when you feel like you're being preached at, because you can tell the difference. You start feeling it, and you start face palming, and you start staring at your phone. Next thing you know, you turn it off or you walk out of the theater. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, you haven't seen this yet, have you, Tony?
Not yet. No. But you know, I don't think Pixar's ever made a bad movie, so I will see it. You know, but
I think you're right. Now that I think about it, I usually will choose the Pixar movies over anything else.
Yeah,
that's how.
Usually, you have to think hard to find a bad movie from Pixar, like maybe Cars 2 or something like. Usually, when they do sequels, that isn't Toy Story.
Monsters University.
Yeah,
I didn't see Monsters University, but Monsters Inc. was adorable, man.
Yeah, Monsters Inc. was great. That was. I watched that with my niece.
That's one of my favorites, great. Man. I'll put that on just for funsies. Yeah.
And look, everybody gets a bad movie once in a while.
True.
We got to get off this mindset. I see so many people will say, "Oh, everything they did was terrible because this one thing was bad." You know how many people I've met have told me the Sam Raimi trilogy, Spider-Man trilogy is awful. Why? Because I hate Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like you're not acknowledging that Spider-Man 2 is the best.
Do you ever tell them, Alex,
movie that probably ever made?
There would be no superhero movies now if Spider-Man 1 didn't make all of the money that year, like all of it, like almost.
I try to tell them they would. I try to tell them that they wouldn't be any superhero movies, and Marvel would go out of business if it wasn't for a certain black man named Wesley Snipes. But I'm not supposed to acknowledge him for some reason.
For
some reason, I'm not supposed to acknowledge him now.
He didn't exist, Alex.
Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah. Oh, hail Keely Chow.
Keely Chow.
Oh, Keely Chow. Yeah.
Keely Chow, I hope you enjoyed that Dark Angel video I posted for you.
Planes. I haven't seen Planes, Leo Red. I have not.
Is that a Pixar movie though?
Yeah.
Or is that a rip off Pixar movie?
He said that's a Pixar movie. I've never seen it.
I heard that one was not good.
No, I never heard
that one. I have to look this up now because I think that might be one of the.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I've never.
One of the competitors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, never watched that one. But look, Pixar was. I hate Disney buying everything. I just do because it's so. It's just it just homogenizes everything down.
Well, like Clownfish said, they're about to get their comeuppance.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
now that they bought all the competition, now that they bought everything there is that made any money at all, they're not making any money because they own everything.
Yep.
They've spent more than they're bringing in, and they're having to make sacrifices now.
You know what the irony is, and I told this to somebody once. I told it to two people. One of them was an anti-SJW, and one was an SJW that blew their mind. I was like, the funny thing is, Disney always catered to girls. That's their market. If anything, it's when they started trying to cater to boys when everything went wrong, because that's when they bought Marvel and Star Wars. Every time Disney wants to cater to girls. No, the problem is Disney wants to cater to boys. I kind of wish Disney would go back to girls like the princess stuff and leave my Star Wars. Leave that stuff alone. Stop trying to recruit the boys. You got Aladdin. That's all you needed.
Yep.
I'm looking up Planes. It's a Disney movie, but I don't see Pixar attached to it.
Oh, see, I thought that was. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, 2013.
Okay.
Once in a blue moon, Disney will do a CGI movie that's not Pixar.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
it
that was not a Pixar.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
and
see
that
any Pixar mentioned here at all.
Because everyone's so used to Pixar doing the CGI stuff that when they happen to see one, they just be like, "Oh, that's Pixar. That's Pixar."
Yeah,
Like,
because they kind of started it. Yeah.
Were they
Well,
trying
you-
to? Were they trying to cash in on Cars with that?
well, it's like this: if you own Pixar, why the heck would you want to do a CGI movie yourself?
Yeah, it doesn't make
Just
any
get
sense.
Pixar. Just get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
production company, Piranha Studios, Disney Toon Studios. No mention of Pixar
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. Why you would?
Nope.
Why you would just release that under Disney's envelope or
It's the-
umbrella?
They were
not
trying to
Pixar.
cash in on the Cars craze,
Yeah,
is what
It
it
hurts
was.
Yeah.
Pixar's reputation because, like we all established, everyone thought because it was a Disney CGI movie, it was Pixar.
Yeah.
So when we say it sucks, everyone's going to throw the shade at Pixar. Disney's
That
fucking
needs to be
Pixar.
mentioned too, Alex, is that there is no regular animation at all anymore. Everything is CGI animation, so it's easy to just say, "Oh, well, that's Pixar." You know, no, it's not. When it's Pixar, they let you know it's Pixar. You know,
Although thankfully, Netflix still does some 2D animation. I think Hulu does too. Every now and then, you'll still get some traditional 2D animation. They ain't all dead just yet.
I appreciate it when they try. I do.
At least you tried.
I
He's
miss
tried, yeah.
regular animation, man. I really do. It's like I want another cartoon series like the old like G.I. Joe or He-Man with that style of animation. Or Transformers Generation 1 as they call it now. You know, the kids call it, or Thundercats. I still have to check out Thundercats Roar. I've got like three episodes DVR for me and the kid to watch, so I'm gonna check that out this weekend.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm gonna watch it. I don't care. It looks kind of funny. It's more of like
You already went through Batwoman, Pete. You ain't got to sacrifice this one either, man.
what the hell? It's a cartoon, you know. Something
I salute you, sir.
Hey, and I put some extra oomph into that Batwoman review. That bitch took a little while to do, but yeah, I think that was one of my better pieces of work. And I was kind of, I don't know if anybody caught what I was doing during that. I was kind of doing an impression while I was while I was recording that. So if anybody can figure out who, I'll do that sometimes. I'll just throw in. It might be a celebrity or it might be another a bigger YouTuber, but I do throw some impressions in there when I do these things. So yeah, if you pay attention to my when I'm delivering my lines of delivery and where I emphasize my points, you might be able to pick it out. But yeah, that was a fun one to do. It really was. Shitty episode. Like, I mean, that episode it hurt to watch that. Like that was one of the worst ones. And I don't think I've said that in a few episodes, but this was literally one of the worst episodes out of the 14.
It's called masochism, Pete. You like to hurt a little bit. Just
I
admit it.
am masochistic, but I mean, normally I like to be able to enjoy it somewhat. This is like, it's getting to the point now where I'm like, somebody said today, like, oh, cancel Batwoman. I'm like, don't cancel it. I'm like, I have Stockholm syndrome now. I have a thing for.
You're invested now, you asshole.
I said I have a thing for short-haired Australian lesbians now.
You know that. What would your channel be without Batwoman? It's like world-class bullshitters. If Disney Star Wars didn't exist, where would they be?
Yep.
Where would
they would, yeah. They're pop culture, period. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But see, like I said, honestly, you can tell sometimes even they get sick of talking about Star Wars. But I just know the streams, and they pointed out before too, where like 40% of the audience will leave the moment they stop talking about Star Wars.
Yep. Well, yeah, like, I mean, if World Class Bullshitter was to do a wrestling stream, yeah, they would probably, if they started talking about one thing and then started talking about wrestling, I guarantee everybody would just bail out. Like I'm not saying there's not a lot of wrestling fans. It's just that, a lot of people that started following World Class Bullshitters was probably because of Star Wars. But
that was why I got into it.
I can tell
for
that
me,
they're
it
over
was
Star
always-
Wars like we are.
Yeah.
They're just over it.
You can
Yeah.
tell. They've said it, but you can tell that even now. Now you got episode 9, so it's understandable. We got to talk about it a little bit, but it's like even they don't want to talk about it anymore.
No,
It's like,
I
you know,
didn't. I just flat out avoided it.
I've got like three Star Wars videos planned right now too.
I keep forgetting episode 9 is even a thing until I do the show and Pete brings it up with the box office thing.
Here's a good one. Here's Keely Chow. Animaniacs needs to be on Discovery Family because Discovery Family sucks. Hashtag Discovery Family sucks. Keely Chow
He's mentioned that once or twice.
on his quest against Discovery Family.
Wait. Animaniacs is good. Don't put that on Discovery.
Keely Chow is to Discovery Family Channel is to Keely Chow what
Black Christmas.
Yeah, Black Christmas is to me. Yeah.
Oh, Flare
Lost my train of thought.
Flare says, Pete, you bought too much lube for it to end. You are.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
You are correct.
Discovery Family is to Keely Chow what Funko Pops is to Logan Michael.
What's this? Where would Geeks and Gamers be without Brie Larson? That's another video I've got to do. See, Brie is the gift that keeps on giving. And that Nissan commercial, oof.
Low hanging fruit.
Yep, I don't.
Say.
You know, the only reason I'm gonna do it Brie Larson, I do Brie Larson videos not to antagonize the troll I have, and we all know who he is now.
Yep, we do.
Everybody knows who this fuckboy is now. So
now that we know, it's almost not even worth it anymore.
No,
yeah,
no, because it's like. You know when a like a cat has like a mouse and it's like half dead and it's like batting it around.
No, I got a better analogy. All right, you guys have seen Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome?
Not in a long time, but
you remember when Max is fighting the Master Blaster?
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
When they're in the Thunderdome, he's fighting the Master Blaster. It's a little guy that rides on the big guy's back. All right, the big guy's got a big helmet on.
Yep.
They knock the helmet off and they see what the Master Blaster really is. Like he's just getting ready to smash him with something, and he sees what he really is. That's our troll. That is literally our troll.
FlareX says, "Is it me?" No, it's not you, FlareX.
No, no. We love you guys.
Yeah, dude, you guys fucking rock, man. You guys are here.
No, this you guys were probably here when there's a troll that likes to do copy and paste.
Yep.
Because we discovered that person is not capable of coming up with an original thought.
What up, manliness and motivation? His last comment is right. He does have something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he's an idiot. But no,
they're
hang on. We'll put it in the private chat. Adam, if you want to drop that in the private chat for Alex.
I will fill you in. Yeah.
Yep. Let him know who it is. But yeah, we all know who it is.
Sorry about that. I was going to get my dinner.
No. You're fine. You're fine. But yeah, so this guy, and then literally Alex and I kind of had it out with one of his fake accounts the other day, in a comment section on one of my videos, and that's just one of his. Now I have literally probably gotten rid of 7 or 8 of his fucking bot accounts. He's got to be running, unless he's got burner phones. He's putting these fucking different accounts on.
That seems overly ambitious for a couple of channels with less than 1,000 subscribers. So
yeah,
I don't. Yep. Then again, yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Leo Red.
I mean, if you got that kind of a disposable income, then why the hell are you YouTubing?
That's right. Leo Red says he has Asperger's. I honestly think he does.
Could be. Yeah.
I honestly think he's got something wrong with him. But yeah, so we figured that Scooby-Doo mystery out pretty fucking easily. That trail of breadcrumbs was not difficult to follow. Speaking of trails of breadcrumbs, Marvel left one for us today in the form of a Black Widow trailer leading to the opening in May. Now, we all got to see this. Tony will be back in a few minutes. He had to step out.
Yes. I made sure I watched that trailer earlier so that I am in the know.
Yep.
I watched it.
I just watched it. I got to watch a few breakdowns of it, but I actually just watched the trailer. What do you guys think so far? What are your impressions of the trailer?
I am still excited about the movie. I haven't seen anything yet that makes me think, oh, that's probably not going to be good. I haven't seen anything in the trailer that makes me think that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a safe, formulaic Marvel movie that will probably be entertaining. And the trailer plays out like pretty much all of the other trailers where show us a bunch of epic things, have a voiceover, and then end on a joke. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm gonna go see it opening night. It'll be one I'm reviewing. I think it looks good. I am not too sure about how they're gonna handle David Harbour's character of the Red Guardian, but like I said, the Taskmaster look, and Alex pointed this out earlier, is way different than the comics. It's a very different look. It almost didn't look like him at first, and
I was going to comment that when I first saw that trailer and they showed the Taskmaster had a hoodie on or a hood or something like that, and I thought, oh shit, are they going to do Doctor Doom already?
I would be really pissed off.
I'd be excited if they did, but I'm like, you're not going to show that.
Off, man.
You're not going to show. But then I got
Doctor Doom in a fucking Black Widow movie.
You're not going to show it in a trailer, a big reveal like that. You keep that ace up your sleeve, man. You tease that shit.
I knew it was Taskmaster only for one simple reason. When I saw it, I was like, oh my god, that looked like the crappy design they're using for the new Avengers video game. Which is funny. Have you seen? I think I posted in a group once because Taskmaster also showed up in Spider-Man PS4 game, and he looks so awesome in the Spider-Man PS4 game. And then when you look at him in the Avengers game, like he looks so stupid. And Black Widow is going with that design. Like you should have went with the Spider-Man one. That one was awesome.
Oh, franchise TV. Yep. The MCU is over for me. They got to learn how to let go, but it's Disney. You just spark something. They really need to do a lot with this Black Widow movie.
They do.
Because, like a lot. Because it's really officially the first movie that they've done since Endgame. Because Spider-Man Homecoming 2 or whatever the
Far From Home, Far From Funny.
Spider-Man Far From Funny is not technically an MCU movie. So you have to do something to get fans engaged again. Because the engagement's not there. It really ain't. Not like it was.
No, and even if this movie becomes a hit, what are you gonna do? You can't do a sequel. She's dead.
Oh no, they'll bullshit. They'll retcon her. They'll retcon her back into existence. Why not?
Yeah, they'll find some way to bring her ass out of the quantum realm.
No one dies in the MCU, really.
Wait,
no one ever really dies.
You're never really
except
gone.
For Jeff Bridges.
Obadiah's gone. They ain't never bringing Obadiah back. Let's see. What up, franchise history? Hey man, you've got the invite for next Monday night. So if you're free, you've got a spot on the panel next Monday night. So let's see what else we got here. Leia Red, the Ass Master coming for Black Widow. Here we go. Here's a good one. Flair says she'll become Spawn. Why not? It's fucking
you know what? They keep teasing that they're going to start doing is the Spawn. And I'm just like, bullshit. I'm like, you've been working on that movie since 1997. Piss off. There's no such thing as another Spawn movie coming out.
No.
It's never going to see the light of day. If it was going to see the light of day, it'd come out 2 years ago.
Speaking of Spawn,
fads, but to die out now.
Look, I'm gonna say the comic book bubble is starting to fade. People are just not they don't realize it yet, but it's done, man. People are over this shit.
There'll be
as much as I would love to have a Spawn movie, I know they're not going to do it right. They haven't given me any piece of news that makes me excited about it. There's nobody attached to it that is skilled enough to do it. It's you know what? Just bring back the HBO series and put fucking Keith David in there doing the Spawn voice, and I'm happy. I don't need another Spawn movie. I don't care.
The Spawn movies premiered the same time as my 2018
the
Halloween
animated
review.
series on HBO was fucking perfect. Just do another one of those.
That'll be coming out in 2026.
Yeah, right after your Halloween review.
2018 review coming out 2026 after Halloween ends. Yeah. So that's. I don't know. But the Black Widow movie, in all seriousness, I think it looks good. And there are already rumblings that they're going to try to squeeze another movie out of this if it's successful enough, which of course they are. It's Marvel. They'll push it to closer, because this is like post Civil War. So they'll mess around with the timeline and the continuity, in between Civil War and Infinity War, stuff like that.
The House of No Ideas.
Yeah.
Like you said, like Alex said, unless they're skeezing some way to try to bring her back, which, like you said, nobody's ever really gone. But
I can see them bringing back Natasha Romanoff from the dead, because they're going to be like, shit, we shouldn't have killed her off. But at the same time, as long as what's her name, Florence Pugh wants to stick around, they're going to make her the new Black Widow. She's going to be the new Black Widow because they're getting ready to do the new Avengers and the Young Avengers. So they're going to need all that happy horse shit for those. So it's the MCU now. You're going to have Jeremy Renner. You're going to have Jeremy Renner replaced by Kate Bishop. You're going to have Cassie Lang as Ant Girl or whatever they're going to call her. You're going to have Lady Thor. You've got Cat Pan Mediocre. Now you've got She-Hulk. So
don't forget the biggest she bitch of them all, Peter Parker.
Yeah. They might as well. He might as well. Of course, Captain Marvel makes him sit when he pees.
Well, come on, Alex. Why can't Spider-Man be gay now? It's important that Spider-Man be gay because it's Marvel's social moral responsibility to make sure that the characters are changed to help young queer people dealing with their feelings and emotions.
Of course, Marvel could just.
That is a direct quote from one of my videos from last fucking year.
Yep. Yeah, and I told him, I said, so you're going to disrespect the dead like that? You're going to disrespect Stan Lee, who it contractually has it so Peter Parker cannot be altered that way. The character of Peter Parker cannot be altered.
He's a ladies' man.
Iteration of Spider-Man. Yeah, he slays. And you can't.
You just don't realize it because he stayed married for so long and he never cheated.
Yep.
I was also told by the same person, if you guys haven't been following along, all right, and I don't blame you if you have, because this is an old-ass video that this conversation's been going on.
It's over a year old.
Alex has been a part of it as well. But I was told that to make a new, because I said, why do you have to change legacy characters to make way for, I'm not saying that these issues are not important. Why must you change legacy characters to make way for this new audience that never seems to show up and enjoy these things? And they said, well, creating a new character that's LGBTQ is lazy.
Yep.
And I say I disagree.
The opposite is lazy.
Yeah.
I disagree. Okay. And I'm going to bring a good example right now. All right. There's a movie. It was my favorite movie of the last decade. Hands down, my favorite movie of the last decade was Mad Max Fury Road. And Mad Max Fury Road introduced Furiosa, Imperator Furiosa, played by Charlize Theron, who is a fantastic actress. She was wonderful in that movie. She was awesome. She didn't replace Max. She fought alongside with Max. She was a strong female, a good warrior. She had a good arc. She was on a redemption arc. She's getting a spinoff. I'm excited about it. So it is proof that you can create a new. It's called talented writing.
That's lazy.
Now, Furiosa is getting a spinoff movie now as a result of it.
Yep.
So it is possible to create new characters in an existing franchise that's as old as me, if not older, and make it work. It's called talent. Mm-hmm. I would say that going and making Mad Max into Maxine or Megan Max, I don't know, Rockatansky would be far lazier than creating a new character.
Mido Maxine.
There you go. That sounds about right.
That like the lazy thing is just like, it's kind of like that meme you see. Hey, can I copy your homework? Just change it a little bit so no one notices. That's what it is. And the funny thing is, you can do a legacy character right, but Marvel needs to pay attention how DC does. DC does legacy characters right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? When Kyle Rayner came about, and DC always thought, like, people never hated Kyle Rayner. They just hated Hal Jordan, and because Hal Jordan's the only one they kind of screwed over back in the 90s. So people used to complain about, well, give Hal a chance. I was like, no one had a problem with Wally West. People like Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is the only other person who could become Batman, and people won't complain about it. Like, there are certain people, like, was it Green Arrow had his son in the 90s? Was it Connor Hart became the Green? Like, DC's good at legacy characters, but the thing is, they don't kind of crap on the original ones. Usually the original one either died a heroic death or something like that. They went out cool. They didn't become a Nazi.
I just don't agree that all of these things have to be pushed to the side to make room for something else. I think that these characters can coexist, and that's where these arguments always end. Is when I say, why can't we have both things? Why do we have to push aside one fan base to bring in a different fan base?
So
a talented film can do both. Another fantastic movie, Blade Runner 2049. I know I'm always bringing it up, but it's a sequel that rebooted the franchise, is also a direct sequel to the original that doesn't disrespect the source material or the legacy characters that came before it. It is possible to do these things when you have talent. Denis Villeneuve has an incredible amount of talent. That's why I'm super excited that he's doing Dune. I can't think of a better guy to do the new Dune movie than Denis Villeneuve. And if you're not familiar with Denis Villeneuve, he did Blade Runner 2049. He also directed a wonderful movie called The Arrival, which is a fantastic piece of science fiction. If you've never seen it, you should probably get it.
Charlie Sheen?
No, not that one.
Oh.
It's called, I'm sorry, not The Arrival. It's called Arrival. That's the one that came out a couple of years ago. Got a couple of Academy Award nominations. Yeah.
I was about to say, like, if we're talking about the Charlie Sheen movie, like,
no.
My respect for you will actually increase.
No, this is the one that had aliens and a giant almond that had a different way of speaking that we're trying to teach people how to speak
Amy
their
Adams
language.
movie, wasn't
that
it?
one? Yes,
was
that
Amy
one.
Adams or Julianne Moore that was in that?
No,
that's correct.
Amy Adams. Okay.
Yeah, it was Amy Adams.
Right.
I like Amy Adams. He's like a sexier Pam from The Office.
Amy Adams.
Yes,
She was in an episode of The Office.
I know, that confused me too.
She was the purse girl.
For the longest time, I thought she was Pam.
To reel it back to another thing that's been brought up is it's not Marvel's, that comment again that it's Marvel's moral responsibility to Marvel's job is to sell entertainment.
They sell a product.
You know who's moral? You know who has a moral responsibility? Parents, guardians, churches, synagogues, mosques. Youth groups, support groups, any kind of support unit. That's where those are the ones that are supposed to raise you. Everybody's entertainment is not designed to raise your fucking kids.
No,
that's a red pill that you need to choke on right now.
And actually, I'll defend Marvel in this one case because I will say this: like, was X-23's Wolverine? I thought that was a great new, because I kept telling people all the time, yo, she shouldn't be lumped in with Riri Williams and She-Thor. I was like, she was a cool character. She had training. She made sense. Her comic wasn't really woke. Everyone's like, oh, but she's woke because she's a woman. I was like, no, she wasn't. Like, everyone was terrified of her because she's an assassin who has Wolverine's genes. And I was like, no. X-23 was good. Do that. And Wolverine died a heroic death. A painful death, but a heroic death saving some kids. I was like, that worked perfectly. I was fine with X-23, but I was like, you can do it right. You just need to do more X-23.
There's a way. Yeah, there's a way to handle these things, man. It's when you're talking down to your audience over and over and over again. The same thing. I did a 28-minute video yesterday about Doctor Who, and I haven't watched Doctor Who since season 11. I did not. I completely ignored season 12, but I still watched the reviews because a lot of people that I started following when I was into Doctor Who, I still follow them because I'm not going to be a dick and unsubscribe just because I'm not watching the show anymore. All right, I still watch their reviews, and I've watched the reviews enough to know that I haven't been missing a goddamn thing since I walked off that show.
Oh, I heard of the Timeless Children.
Let's talk about the Timeless Children, Alex, because I know Pete and Tony, you guys are not Doctor Who. Well, Tony, are you a Doctor Who fan?
I've never seen enough to still.
Okay, so this is going to be mostly Alex and I because we followed Doctor Who, and Alex, you probably followed it longer.
I have vague knowledge of Doctor Who. I can't say I've seen as many, but I have some vague knowledge of it.
I watch all the reviews.
I'll start it off. Okay, yeah. I came into Doctor Who in Christopher Eccleston was Doctor Who. So I started with New Who. Okay, that's what they called New Who when they started it in 2004. I didn't watch it. My sister told me about an episode called The Weeping Angels, and I'm not going to spoil that episode for you. It's still out there on whatever streaming device has Doctor Who now, probably BBC or some bullshit.
But Amazon has it, don't they?
Yeah, she told me about that episode, and she sparked my interest. I'm like, well, that sounds like some really cool science fiction. I like science fiction that makes you think. Okay. It can also have a little bit of action, but I like how it make you think. The thing I liked about Doctor Who is it's similar to Star Trek in that there is really good writing. There's complicated relationships and different complex things with species, but unlike Star Trek, it's a little more whimsical, you know, and I kind of like that about that show. It's just kind of a different take on a science fiction, but they always left the Doctor purposely vague, okay, because that adds to the mystery. And I've mentioned this before. When you explain absolutely everything about every single character, you don't have any more mystery about that person. So when they get dark, you know, you're not really scared. It's kind of like when you told everybody that Samuel L. Jackson got his eye scratched out by a cat, you know, I mean, now he's not scary anymore, is he? You know, it's like you always think you look at him, you're like, well, there's a guy that's been through some shit. And now that you know about it, that character is no longer scary anymore. Just like I didn't need to know that Han Solo, you know, how he got his gun and how he got his name and all this other bullshit. Stop explaining things. Doctor Who with the Timeless Child basically went back and retconned 60 years worth of story and setup just to prove that the Doctor was always a little black girl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fastest way I can explain that, what's going on. Fans are livid. But once again, fans are being demonized because we don't want the Doctor to be a little black girl. What we don't want is we don't want you going back and retconning everything that's been written already just to win fucking arguments on Twitter. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. So Chris Chibnall, the latest showrunner, the new butcher of a science fiction franchise that's been around for damn near 60 years, has pulled a Rian Johnson and retconned the whole damn thing just to stick it to the fucking fans.
Well, because he knows better than you.
He's as bad as Kurtzman.
And that's what they say. And there's been so many complaints after this episode. This episode aired last weekend. I believe it was last Sunday. Like I said, I didn't watch it. In fact, I'll take it one step further. I literally disconnected my cable box after I stopped watching Doctor Who because I had already gotten pissed off. The only two shows I was watching, the only reason I even had cable is I was watching The Walking Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead, and Doctor Who. After I stopped watching Doctor Who, because I already gave up on The Walking Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead got canceled, and then Doctor Who went woke, and I fucking stopped watching it. Because I watched the last one I watched was Arachnids in the UK. That's the last one you watched too, right, Alex?
Yep.
That was it. Because it wasn't enough that they made the Doctor female, and neither one of us had a problem with that, did we? Didn't have a single problem. We just wanted the Doctor to be fun again, okay? And it wasn't enough that they made her a female. They also made her to lecture everybody, to put them in their place, to talk down to people. All the monsters had been replaced by single white men, racist white men, single dads, deadbeat dads. You see what I'm saying? There's a common narrative here, you know. This is what we're talking about with the woke entertainment, is when you're standing up on a box and talking down to your audience and telling them that they're bad because they do these things or they said these things or they believe in these things. You're not getting somebody to think about what they're saying, because that's called good writing. That's what Star Trek used to do. They've been handling politics for years. They would basically turn something on its ear and try to get you to see something from the other person's point of view, not force you to take sides. What they do with this entertainment is called partisan politics.
You know what they're doing is they understand that it's causing divisiveness, but it's almost it reminds me of what Vince McMahon did with John Cena. And anybody who had been a WWE fan longer than 2 years was kind of tiring of the guy. He was really stale, but Vince was worried about the next generation of fans. And that's what they're doing, is trying to bring the next generation into where this is normal. This is the normal, the preaching and the agendas. And so, you know, they hear us, but they're just going to...
But what I was getting at, though, is that the complaints got so hefty that the BBC literally had to issue a statement. And they took the side of the writers. And they, in corporate speak, they said, well, we realize that you guys don't have, you know, you have attachments to these things. It's been around for a long time. But in science, they had the gall to tell us that in science fiction writing, there's origin stories are a normal thing. And so they gave us an origin story that basically solidifies the current Doctor as the original Doctor. Not William Hartnell.
That's the power of Pine Sol, baby.
That's what they do. How many times are we talking about how they're always moving the goalposts? So they went back and retconned the history so that they don't have to write within the confines of it again. Now, I'll argue for one sake that they originally said that the Doctor was only supposed to have 13 regenerations, which means that Jodie Whittaker here would be the very last Doctor. So they had to change that. That much I can understand, but that was not enough. They couldn't have her originally be William Hartnell. Nope. She's got to be and she's not even from Gallifrey anymore, guys. she's just an alien that the Gallifreyans used, and they killed this girl. This girl died, and then they killed her over and over again to discover the power of how to regenerate. So they stole that. So it's colonialism, okay? That's a thing now too, colonialism in Doctor Who. Nice. It's constantly forcing you to take sides. It's very much political hot button of the week is what the show has become. And the BBC, in so many words, has said that we're going to continue to double down on this shit, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Now, wasn't the original the Gallifreyans? Is that what they're called?
Correct. That's the Doctor's was the Doctor's species, but now they're saying that the Doctor's species, at least the species he thought he was a part of, ripped off of some alien that they did experiments on to steal the ability to regenerate.
Now, originally, all the Gallifreyans could do what the Doctor does, but they chose not to, correct?
Correct.
And now that's a non-thing because, well, Gallifrey got blown up again.
Like, I guess they blew it up in the episode, which I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah, I was listening to Nerdrotics reviews of these because
Nerdrotics reviews are very on point. Yep. But
I feel like I know the show and I've never seen it. I've watched like maybe 5 minutes of one episode, and I was like, and I was reading that article, the Bounding into Comics article about this whole situation, and the two male companions they're done with the show. They quit. So which
is sad because those two were the best parts of the show.
And that's what everybody says. But now you're left with Jodie Whittaker and the girl that plays Yaz. So
now all of the men have left the show. So now it is 100% female. And as you guys can see from the thumbnail, we made this because there's a common narrative. All of your pop culture, all of it, everything has been destroyed. And when we complain, we're called entitled fans.
Yep.
But as Midnight say, you know what, Pete, play that clip.
I do have it, and I will share that now.
We're going to explain to you what this shit really is. All right, and this is Rob Shlomo from Midnight's Edge broke this down even better than I could because I always use a burger analogy. He did it as steak, but it's very similar. Go ahead.
All right.
The following video segment was borrowed from the Midnight's Edge video, The Collapse of Star Wars,
Up the volume,
and the entitlement of the media complex. I will link this video in the description so you may watch it in its entirety.
Hollywood is a business, no different than a restaurant. It is there to serve and cater to the desires of the customers, and in return, be paid for the services provided. The equation is that simple. The people here who are entitled and out of touch are in Hollywood itself and the entertainment industry, who believe they are owed their customers money even if they create an inferior or unwanted product, one that is not wanted or ordered by the customer but is given to them as if they feel this is what he needs and not what he wants. A good comparison might be walking into a restaurant in your area where the chef has just completed a new culinary arts class at his college and has hired a new staff of culinary graduates. You order your usual, a steak medium well done. Soon, the staff, which you don't recognize, bring you an exotic fish dinner. And they explain that the chef said the beef you wanted in gravy and the fully loaded baked potato covered in butter and sour cream is just not healthy, and the chef is committed to see you eat better. You argue that the name of the restaurant is Joe's Steakhouse, and you've been a customer for 20 plus years. They tell you that this is no longer your father's steakhouse, and they are now serving food that is good for you and is top-cited in the industry. You tell them again that you wanted a steak. The staff starts screaming at you that you are not a culinary expert, and by the way you have treated the staff, you're a racist, misogynist, and homophobic poor excuse for a human being. You and other patrons get up and refuse to pay for the food and walk away from the restaurant. This pattern happens over and over until the establishment is deep in financial trouble. What's amazing to you is the young hip people also seem to have no interest in this new idea they are doing either. The place sits empty and they blame customers for not coming in anymore. And they continue to say they are now geared up for a new demographic and that this is no longer your dad's steakhouse. They go on the news and say they have an excellent product, a top chef, and they are making the best food they ever made. But the customers are self-entitled and will not pay for their food because they are homophobic, racist, and misogynistic. No, the person here that is tone deaf and out of touch with their client base is the restaurant pushing food on customers they do not want to eat. They are the ones entitled and feeling they have no obligation to give the customer what they want, as they are now smarter and know what is better for them. You cannot do this and be successful in any business, and that includes the entertainment industry.
Yep.
He said it better than I could. What they do to us is called gaslighting. Gaslighting is when you make somebody think that they're crazy, even though you know there's nothing wrong. All right. They make you think you're crazy. You're saying a complaint. They make you think you're crazy. Then they make your friends think you're crazy. And then they start calling you names. I've had this done to me so many times that it's wearing me down. It really is. And every time I get excited about like a movie like Sonic the Hedgehog doing well because it's respecting the fans, or a movie like Joker that has, God forbid, a white male lead, makes all of the money in the world. I think we take steps forward, but in 2020, we're still being gaslighted. Every single fandom you can think of is being gaslighted and told that they're bad people, that this product is no longer for them, and that they should move on. Well, what the fuck are we supposed to move on to? What's left?
Well, you have nothing to move on to, because every time you move on to something, you get the same infestation problems of the fandom that you do. It starts out with one little complaint, and they call us the small vocal minority, the people who just want to be entertained. Wrong. We are not the small vocal minority. We are the majority, because we're the ones with the wallets. We're the ones with the money. These fucking weirdos on Twitter that spend all day tweeting like 20,000, 30,000 tweets a month. They're not the ones that are paying to go see these movies. They're not the ones that are buying merchandise. They're not the ones that go out and buy, $60, $70, $80, $90 fucking action figures and all this stuff and order Blu-rays. They're the ones that they see something advertised and they look at it at face value and they say, where's the representation? They get on Twitter, they start tweeting, and then their idiot fans start tweeting, and then or their idiot followers start tweeting, and all these little sycophants sit in their little echo chamber and they start screaming about something until these production companies, for some goddamn reason, pay attention to them, because we can't be called Jesus. IP will get called, you're right leaning or something like that, or you must be Trump supporters if you don't have representation. It's like, wait
I'm
a
a
second.
Trump supporter because I complained about subtitles in a movie.
Yes. That's the whole thing, and that's the ultimate. That's their equivalency of a slam dunk, is calling somebody, a supporter of the president, and it's like, dude,
give me a
I
single
said
for
nothing
a second,
about
Pete.
that. Yeah,
I want to show everybody something real quick.
Yeah,
I'll give you a clue right here. This is from Saturday. All right, Donald Trump was not on that ballot that I voted on. He wasn't on it.
You're such a Trump supporter.
I just renewed my web hosting fee like a little while ago, so I realized that I've been YouTubing for exactly a year. All right, I started my channel to combat this because at the time it was just Star Wars, it was Ghostbusters, which honestly I was not as upset about because I don't look at Ghostbusters as a franchise. I look at Ghostbusters as a funny movie with a pretty decent sequel. It's not something that was meant to have multiple movies or a cinematic universe or any of that kind of shit. Same way I feel about Terminator. Even though you see Arnold on my wall behind me, that was not really meant to be a franchise. It was just a couple of decent movies that I really love. Okay. Something like Star Wars was set up in a way to where you could have had stories forever. And they started cranking them out. And the first couple ones, I kind of liked them, especially Rogue One. I thought that was kind of cool. I was kind of hoping we get some more of that. But then you got The Last Jedi that literally broke the fandom. It's mean-spirited in how they did it, too. It's you didn't just retcon all of Star Wars for the last 40 years by saying, hey, let's just have a ship, hyperspace through something else. Like, well, how come we never did that before? And why were we never mentioning fuel? We could pick that part of movie apart for all week. All right. We're not going to do that. With Star Trek, I didn't pay attention. I'm not as worried about Star Trek because Star Trek has had some pretty low points in the past. Star Wars never had a low point until recently. In a span of 5 fucking years, I've watched Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Terminator, Ghostbusters. I'm probably forgetting a few. All right. All of these things. Marvel Comics is coming next with Captain Marvel. Okay.
Oh.
All of these things being sacrificed on an altar of partisan politics. Why? Is it a company's idea to tell us what's good for us instead of just delivering the product that we like? Why? Why do you have to replace one thing with something else? I just explained earlier that you can have a good character in an existing franchise. I love Imperator Furiosa. They're giving her another movie. I will definitely 100% go see it because she's well written. She has a good actress playing the part, and she works alongside of the hero that's already been established. So without having to sacrifice him for that movie, you can have these things coexist. You can have equality. I don't believe that fixing a problem, you do that by replacing one problem with another problem. You know, you say these characters have to step aside and be replaced with females because you think it's good for them. I know a lot of women that don't like this shit either. Then they're in my family. They hate this shit. They're tired of it. They're tired of being talked down to like they're stupid and they can't like things. You know, it's like you can like a female character, you can like a male character. They mean something to you no matter what. I like Wonder Woman. I'm not a woman, but I still like the character. I still like the actress that plays her. Should we replace Wonder Woman with a dude now because that's what you think that we want? I mean, I don't understand how many more franchises have to have this done to them. I mean, there's nothing left. All of pop culture has been destroyed. And now you got people like the BBC saying, okay, well, we've heard your complaints, but frankly, we don't give a shit. The British people are paying for that woke entertainment. They are forced to pay the taxes on that product.
Yeah, because it's all through their taxes and shit.
They don't have to answer to ad revenue.
Nope.
Now, something like Charlie's Angels that came out last year, the one that you had to go sit through, that one, nobody went to go see it. They're not going to make another one. That's a different scenario. Something like a TV show like Doctor Who, yet another long-standing franchise destroyed over partisan politics.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking sucks. And I wish to God, I feel like I'm still in 2016. I feel like in 4 years, we've made no strides forward. Like a couple of little strides, but the difference now is the companies are doubling down on this shit. And the harder we force back, the harder they push to just force these things into our face and say, well, here it is. And if you don't like it, well, you're a bad person. If you ask questions, you're a bad person. And no matter what, you're a bad person.
I'm trying, we're talking about all these characters, and I'm trying to find the current, because we were talking about Marvel especially, and with all the women. And I don't know, have you guys seen what She-Hulk looks like now? Like in the comics, Alex, have you?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Bruce Banner. Now, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, you can't tell me that's why that book isn't selling, right? I mean, was it John Byrne that did the She-Hulk that was like, I mean, Jennifer Walters used to be like gorgeous. I mean, she was fucking beautiful. Like, they made her.
She was Deadpool before Deadpool. She would always break the fourth wall.
Absolutely, man. Like the cover of most of her comics, she was breaking the fourth wall on the cover, right inside the cover. You know, and this whole they have to make her look like fucking Hulk. Now it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm like, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, this is not doing anybody any favors. And then when you say something about it, like Adam says, you get called you're a misogynist, or all this. You're an istophobe.
Pick any name, hot name of the week. Istophobe, xenophobe, whatever. I've been called all of them. And,
absolutely.
My friends that have known me for years and years know that I'm none of those things. And it's sad because it's like I'm being gaslighted by some of those people that I used to hang out with. Like, they're like, well, why don't you like Star Wars? And I really experienced that with The Last Jedi. It's like, I didn't say anything for a while because I was afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I saw people at each other's throats online, and I said, well, after weighing the pros and cons of the last couple movies and seeing the direction that they're going in, I'm no longer interested in this franchise. It's clearly not for me anymore, and I'm not going to watch it. And you wouldn't believe the amount of people that unfriended me over that comment. People I've known for years, people I drank beer with and joked about this kind of stuff with.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, man, these people think that this is the be all end all, and you know, Marvel going the direction they're going right now, it's going to cost them money, and they're gonna get right on that. You've already got what's her name, Salon Amanat or whatever. I don't know what her fucking she's got. The Amanat's the last name, I believe, but she's in charge of Marvel Comics. And she knows nothing about Marvel Comics, and she. But
that's the problem right there too. Is because of the diversity push, you're constantly putting people in places that don't understand the material that they're working with.
Just because they check a box.
You got Star Trek Picard, which I haven't seen, and I refuse to watch because I don't want to watch the Picard character destroyed in front of my eyes too. I can only take so much. I just can't fucking take it. They've got characters on this new show, Pete, that are straight out of Lord of the Rings.
And
that's how fucking clueless they are with the stuff that they're working with. Even though the Next Generation is on the BBC literally every fucking day.
That's right. I watch it there. Usually I watch a couple episodes.
Most people do. It's on every day. It's like, can't you just study an episode of this and just make me something similar to this? But no, the agenda is far. Don't tell me there's no fucking agenda. It's right there.
There is. Whether they
the agenda is always replacing the story. It's not to make money. It's not to entertain people. It's not to make fans. It's to preach to people and indoctrinate them into these bullshit politics that they think are so damn important. Yeah. Why did Star Wars: A Galaxy Far, Far Away need to have war profiteering messages and mansplaining messages, and all of those things did not need to be there. Before that, the closest thing they ever got to it was in Attack of the Clones when they said, "This is how democracy dies," with thunderous applause. It was one line.
Because men bad, and you know that's basically what it boils down to. Is now it's like this the women's the women's emancipation or the women's rights acts and all that. That was like 1921. Dude, that's
the other thing I'm getting at. They act like we live in the Stone Age. They think that these things are way like these things have to be forced. These things have already been there. We've mentioned that several times.
Yep.
Especially something like X-Men. For fuck's sakes, it doesn't get any more diverse than X-Men. X-Men is diversity. It represents diversity.
Yeah, but those characters don't count because Disney hasn't owned them long enough for them to count for anything. You know, that's how they treat it. That is exactly how they treat it. You've got I'm not. Yeah, the X-Men are. That is the most
comics comic books too, dude. I don't know a lot about comic books, but I know for a fact that Tony Stark, because I've read this. All right, I've read this that Tony Stark came out during the Vietnam era. All right, and he was basically Howard Hughes. And at the time, he says, "What could be a more hated character than a rich white man?"
Yep.
It has that makes weapons for a living in the middle of the Vietnam War, for fuck's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
And they made him, go against his own company.
Yeah.
That's fucking pretty progressive shit, for then. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like these things weren't trying, but they also did it in such a way to where these things were not made to lecture people. They were made to get you to think from the other person's point of view. That's what I love about Star Trek: The Next Generation. Why it's so good is because those stories were so goddamn good. Because they didn't take sides. They didn't force you to take sides. They made you think. Even Battlestar Galactica made you think. Now, some of those were kind of heavy-handed too, but they still got you to see things from the other point of view. It was a show in which the bad guys didn't wear black hats. You know what I mean? It's like you had good and bad people on both sides.
There's nuance. There's this thing called nuance
Correct.
that intelligent people can pick up on, and we don't need to be spoon-fed fucking this little garbage like we're a bunch of toddlers. We can read subtext. We can look beneath the surface and find this thing, like you said, the nuances and the subtleties of things. I don't need to be spoon-fed that, man bad, blah, 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 all day, every day. Like I'm the only person on earth
every day, literally, in everything. Because they always tell you, well, if you don't like it, go somewhere else. I'm like, my argument is I can't go anywhere. My video games have it. My TV shows have it. My fucking commercials have it now. Okay. It's in your face 24/7. and it's upsetting. And the other thing I wanted to mention too, that I failed to mention in my video yesterday because I got to ranting about Doctor Who too long, is that it used to be things like Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek that united people. People came together to talk about that thing. Like I said, my best friend, who I know for a long time, and I visit every time I go to Illinois and I hang out with him and his family, they're Republicans, okay? And they know that I'm not a Republican. But we don't talk about politics. We talk about Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel. You know, those are the things that we talk about. You know what we talk about now? How all those things suck now.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about. Those are our discussions. We're not having a good time. And all of these things have been destroyed because all of these companies have decided that politics are way more important than any other thing that there is. You're not allowed to have any fun, no escapism, no entertainment. It is all about the message, and it's all about indoctrinating people. All you people that are pissed off about Onward and the one line of dialogue should be more concerned about what's going on with Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Terminator, Dark Fate. That stuff is way more insidious because it's not just that they're making these changes. They're being mean-spirited about it. They're dividing the fandoms.
Yep.
They're turning people against each other. And that angers me to no end. I need to know that it's going to stop someday.
Yeah, they won't stop until they start losing money. That's where they're going to feel it, is in the wallet. And the caveat is that Marvel, it's going to take a huge fall for them to lose money on anything.
Well, and I'm telling you, and just based on what the reports alone, Disney, can they really afford to lose this much money now?
No, they can't. It's going to start hurting them because the
problem is they've purchased all the entertainment, and they purchased so much of it that none of their outlets are making any money now.
No, you're losing money in the theme
they've
parks.
gotten too big for their own big britches.
They're going to lose money on these movies and the IPs that they've gobbled up, these studios that they think, like, look at the fucking Han Solo movie they just released there, Call of the Wild. You know, they lost money on that. They're losing money. It's all these little things, like $100 million here, $100 million there, which I say little things of $100 million, but to Disney, $100 million is kind of like, it is a little thing, but when you get enough of those little things, it's going to add up to a big thing. The one Marvel movie that I'm kind of hoping is going to take a shit is the Eternals. And it's not because of, oh, well, there's representation. No, it looks like a movie that's going to be up its own ass. It really does. And I have no desire to see it. You know, there's certain movies that are coming out that I look at them, I'm like, why are you doing this? And it's like, you know, Captain Marvel 2. Now, if you thought the marketing for Captain Marvel 1 was bad, I mean, just wait a second. I mean, it's gonna be fucking hilarious to see what they do with this. And they're gonna try to hide the Secret Wars thing. They're gonna shove that in. Oh wait, no, now we're gonna do a Disney Plus series of that.
Oh, can I address this comment that Flair X said right here? At Raiders of Lost Flicks, I am conservative and I could care less about your politics. I enjoy your body of work. Right there. That is what the fandom menace is. All right.
Yeah.
This is a group of people that have nowhere else to go. And we've come together because we don't want to be gaslighted into thinking that we're crazy because we don't enjoy this shit entertainment that's being forced upon us. I shouldn't say forced, because at any point you can not watch these things. You can choose not to. I choose to go back and watch old entertainment, but I didn't think that at 46, I'm going to be 46 in a month here. I didn't think at 46-year-old I was going to be one of those old people watching old shows all the time because I couldn't stand the new stuff. I want more new entertainment. I want to be mentally challenged. Well, not mentally challenged, but I want to be mentally stimulated. You know what I'm saying? Like I want, you know, stuff that's going to make me think. I've seen some nuggets of greatness, but most of the time these things get hijacked. Anytime you get any kind of a platform whatsoever, you hijack it and then you start preaching to people. You start replacing the main characters with female characters, and you start swapping out the genders and the races just because you think that helps things. And I'm saying your forced diversity is not helping anything. You're making it worse because you're putting people in writers' rooms that worked on episodes of Dawson's Creek, for fuck's sakes.
Well, that's the thing now they're attacking is the way
they don't know a lightsaber from a Land Rover, man.
The way we present the argument of, you know, where we diversity is awesome because that's the spice of life, man. That's what makes things cool. And they say, oh, well, you're using that term, you know, organic diversity, so you don't really like diversity. I'm like, wait a second, wait a second, no, the organic
the
diversity is diversity that
yeah.
happens naturally. Like what?
Let me
What's
ask
the
this:
issue there?
was the character in Onward replaced by somebody else? No, the character in Onward is the first time we ever saw that character. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
Now, if you went in there and you made a Spider-Man movie, and all of a sudden Spider-Man's is a female, whatever lesbian character, pick whatever part of the alphabet you want to be a part of there. That's like not fair to the original fans that grew up liking that thing, and now that thing no longer resembles what it once was. It's the same thing that they're going to do with James Bond. They're going to replace James Bond with Mrs. Bond, and now it's not James Bond anymore, it's Jane Bond. And how is that good for anybody? Do you think females are going to show up to this? They don't go to this shit. And the original fans aren't going to go to this shit. Everybody fucking loses. Why?
Because woke. That's what it is. That's just
it's like Rob said. It's just the tone deafness of it. It just frustrates me to no end. I'm so tired of people coming into my comment section and calling me an istifo because these changes are stupid. They are stupid. They're forced and they're stupid. They're lazy as hell. All right. And I'm saying that if you get somebody that's a talented writer, they can come in and it is possible to make everybody happy. You just have to be talented enough to be able to handle it. These people are way more concerned with the message they're trying to push than they are trying to appease any kind of a fandom whatsoever. And I'm tired of this nonstop fandom abuse. It sickens me. It really does.
They won't hire talented writers because they just want these people, these blue checkmark types that come in and they'll just lockstep and follow whatever the progressive ideology of the week is and whatever bullshit they want them to push, because that's what they think sells to this non-existent audience that they're not making any money. And that's why comics like, let's see, what was it? Miss Marvel, let's say Kamala Khan, her book is ranked, the last check at Comic-Con, it was like 149, 150 overall. And anybody who knows anything, Alex, you can probably back me up on this. Outside of the top 50, you're pretty much just dead in the water. Am I wrong?
Pretty much. I know these days, when comics expensive as it is, you really got to get like the top 20 to actually be considered.
I was gonna say, man, when I first was reading comic books, man, this is gonna date me, but they were like maybe $1.25 or maybe 85 cents or something.
The 90s, then the early 90s, they were $1.
Yeah. So back then, it wasn't a big deal if you bought a handful of comics, but at $5 a pop, yeah, you got to make that shit count, dude.
Actually, $5, that's a DC special. Marvel likes to try like 6 cents. Some books now they'll charge $10 for it now. Like really, when you hear like the complaining about the pricing, it's usually Marvel. Like Marvel, that's how come they keep doing the new #1s every 2 months, so they can make a $10 book with nothing in it. And, oh, here's the director's cut, which is just the exact same book but in black and white, but now it's $12. Like Marvel is ridiculous. Marvel got their head so far up their ass because of the MCU that it's just ridiculous now. I don't buy Marvel comics anymore. I can't. It got too expensive. Even the books I really like, I had to just start illegally downloading them because it was expensive. DC books are the only ones I kind of pay for now.
Yeah, that's my my father-in-law buys my kid. Was it like Justice League of America and stuff like that? He gives him some of his old ones too. But yeah, I'm not paying that much. I just go to that, that site where we go to, and I sit there and I read my comics I want to read, and I'm done with it. The only ones I buy now are old ones that I find, or I will buy like the compendiums for. I'm still going to buy the rest of the Walking Dead run in the compendiums because I love that comic run. I was so pissed when that ended because that comic never really got woke at all. Kirkman did a good job of keeping it. Now, you had a ton of female characters. You had a ton of minority characters. You had everybody in that book. And it's kind of, now, this is an issue I'm kind of having with the show, and it's going to that is, now you've got the new showrunner, Angela Kang, and now you've always had strong women on that show, just like in the comic. Okay, I have no problem with them emphasizing, a few more of them, but don't kind of push these like guys like, Norman Reedus' character, Daryl Dixon, to the back. Now, Daryl is out front. He's basically leading again. But for a while there, they kind of made him seem like a little bit, of a back. It was just like, ugh.
Well, the problem with that, and I think I told you before, he was supposed to die long ago.
Yeah.
kept him alive. They didn't
Yeah.
have anything for him to do.
No.
It was
He's
kind of
like the last pillar of hope keeping that show alive, because there's a large there's a large female audience out there that thinks he's hot stuff, and that's why they tune in to watch him.
Yep. And now I will say this: the episode last week I absolutely hated. I fucking hated it. Now this week was kind of like
zombie fucking.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
clapping them zombie cheeks,
clapping some cheeks there with them skin masks on. But
Gross.
no, the episode this week, it was a little slow at times, but they're just getting into the whisper. The war basically started last night. Okay, the first assault on the hilltop by the Whispers, and this is still, I'm like, the way they're dragging it out, I'm getting vibes from season 8 with season 8, yeah, All Out War, which to me, it's just, why on God's green earth, after the way that arc was received, would you do that all again with an arc you could have finished in 12 episodes? They could have been done with this already.
You know what frightens me even more than that, Pete, is like, you know, we always say, I hear this common thing on streams, like, well, you know, you still got the old episodes, you still got the old series, and you know, you still have this. There's always the old. You can always go back and watch the old stuff. These politically correct weirdos are going to come after that shit too.
Well, yeah,
they're already doing it.
They're already starting to do it.
They're already starting to do it.
Shit.
In 1984, there's that line that says, "He who controls the past controls the future.
Yep.
Who controls the future controls the past." Anything they find problematic, they're already retconning that shit, changing around. Just like Chris Chibnall went back and changed 60 years worth of fucking history because his writers were too lazy to deal with what's going on. And also, they wanted to be able to win, you know, Twitter arguments. So I say, well, Doctor was always a little female girl, a girl of color, or whatever you call it now. How do you feel about that? That's why they did that shit. It's mean spirited, you know, the way they're doing it. But yeah, that's why I'm always preaching, like, if you like these things, you should go and buy physical copies and hang on to that shit. You can buy DVDs dirt fucking cheap right now. I've been buying them all summer long. I go in those bins you see up at the Best Buy and Walmart, everything I can fucking get my hands on, because it's going to get to a point to where that's the way I'm going to have to consume my entertainment. They're already going back and changing shit on the fucking streaming services. I warned people that was going to happen. Anything that's problematic is going to be changed to adapt the current political climate.
But this whole thing, this isn't going to last. This whole woke shit, this is not
already dying out.
Yep, it's already dying down. You're absolutely right, Alex.
I want you to be right, man, because it just right now, this shit with the Doctor Who, it feels like it's still 2016. It's like I feel sometimes, I know we've taken some strides. I want to know there's some hope. But with the sci-fi right now, you're fucked if you're a fan of sci-fi.
Well,
you are so fucked right now, it's not even funny.
What's old boy's name there from Marvel Comics? It just basically said "fuck you" to everybody that.
Taika Waititi?
No, not that piece of shit. Dan Slott, is that his name?
Chuck Windbag?
No. There was an article from Bounding into Comics about it. He's I can't remember what comic he does over there, but yeah, he just basically came out and said, if you voted for the president, you know, fuck you. And it's like, so you don't want my money then? Is that what you're telling me? I mean, it doesn't matter who I voted for. You're just telling people that you don't want their money. You know, that doesn't, none of this makes sense. None of this it's not a sustainable business model.
No, there's no realistic world where you go like let's say I'm the CEO of McDonald's, all right, and I start selling. I decide I'm the new CEO and I'm a vegan, and I decide that hamburgers are bad for people. The last time I checked, McDonald's sells 2.83 billion hamburgers a year. And let's say I start replacing those with like a kale alternative. I'm not going to be in business very much longer. I'm going to have to start closing locations. People will jump ship.
Yeah.
And the vegans aren't going to go to the restaurant either because they're not going to like my version of what they're dishing out. Because that's the case we see with all this stuff. You replace these characters, and then where's the giant audience that they're hoping is going to come in and take over? It's not there. You have to make new things. The old things, you need to think about your existing customers and give them more of what they want.
I want to hear from Tony for a minute. Tony, what is like, is your now some of your favorite entertainment things like that? Like, how has this kind of like hit you as far as like being part of a fandom?
The way I look at it, I mean, I can get deep down a bunny trail here, but it's kind of what I stated earlier. There's an agenda being pushed by a certain group of people, and they understand, and they were expecting backlash. They're not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what The Last Jedi was. They know what they're doing with Doctor Who. They know what they're doing with Star Trek. They knew what they were doing with video games and every other aspect of life. They seem to infiltrate and infect, and really what they do is leave things in ruins, and that's why it's important for all of us to stand up and fight back. And if not for us, then for the next generation and for the generations to come. I think you guys kind of covered it with the franchises and everything, but it's not going to stop till they're out of power. And as far as money goes,
I wish I had
a
disposable income where I could make some new entertainment, because I'm pretty sure I could come up with some decent freaking stories. I don't have a big enough platform, and I have no capital to make those things happen. I feel sometimes like I'm just crying into the wind, and nothing's ever going to get done about it. But I did start.
Society is starving for creativity.
Anything,
Yep.
dude. I've started watching anime because I realized there's a wellspring of material there that I haven't consumed yet that almost satisfies that craving I have for good science fiction, because there's no good science fiction.
Check it out.
None.
Okay.
I don't know any anime, so maybe
I don't either. I'm just coming into a little bit of it, because the problem is a lot of it's like really, really weird, but it's like the stuff that's like rooted in science fiction. I love science fiction. It's been around for years, but now nothing is science fiction about science fiction anymore. It's just political hot button of the week. And let's hurry up and get as much diversity in here as possible. That's the focus of absolutely everything. I knew that's what they were going to do with Picard, so I wasn't surprised when the reviews started coming out. I'm like, that's exactly what the fuck I thought it would be.
Well, that's exactly what they do though with sci-fi. And then you say, well, I don't want this modern politics in my escapism, and then their automatic retort, it's like the NPC response is, well, there's always been politics in sci-fi. That's what it's about. Well, motherfucker, not.
Or you just don't like change.
You don't like
change. Old and
yeah.
you don't like change.
Yep,
that's another one of my favorite gaslighting comments.
Yeah.
Is,
yeah.
I don't like change. Thank you. Okay.
Yep. Well, don't spit up my ass.
You're
and tell me
right.
it's raining here.
Yeah, all this time, I guess I was just crazy, but it's just I'm old and I don't like anything new.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm a curmudgeon here. Okay. That's right. No, I know what good entertainment is. I've been around the block enough times to know what good entertainment is. And look at Keely Chow here with a pop for Adult Swim on Saturday, and get your anime fix by watching Toonami on. See, that's where I started watching like Attack on Titan, and I got into like some of the Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I used to watch Gundam Wing in high school and stuff like that. It was like after school, after like football and season was over with everything, because I didn't do any other sports aside of that. In high school, it was like just get together with my boys after school and watch anime, and we did. That was the thing, and I don't mind. I kind of got out of it for a while. Like some shows I still watch, but like I'll watch them occasionally now. And speaking of anime, because I want to wrap this up at about the 2-hour mark tonight, is this. I watched a video by The Quartering earlier, and he was talking about, have you guys seen these virtual reality like girls now that are, it's like the Twitch streamers and stuff like that, almost like an anime type avatar?
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that, but it doesn't surprise me.
No, I have no issue. I have no issue. It's just kind of funny because now the feminists are getting mad and saying, do the guys that support this hate real women?
Oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
It is fucking awesome. I saw that. I watched Jeremy's video earlier, and you're right, Sal. Absolutely, man.
That's the other thing too, Pete. Is okay. Strong female leads, cool. All right.
We have no issue.
Why is it you always find the most like outspoken, negative, bitch face, resting bitch face to fucking stand up for all strong women. It's like we're supposed to like that so that this person can stand there with some bitchy face and tell us all that we're a bunch of istophobes and we're a bunch of horrible people and we should just basically roll over and die because we don't belong in this world anymore. I can't fucking take any more of it. If they would have had Captain Marvel portrayed by literally anyone else other than Brie Larson, none of us would have even care. It's just they picked one of the most outspoken, bitchiest people you could possibly think of, and they did it out of spite.
I would say that she could be played by a plank of wood, but she's kind of already played by a plank of wood. So
yeah,
you know. But no. So this whole fucking this thing with these Avatar anime girls are freaking. It's hilarious, man. Like these women are like losing their shit over it now, and it's like, well, it's kind of funny because and Jeremy said it really well. He said it levels the playing field. Because it could be anybody behind the avatar. Like, you know, he goes, let's get some burn victim representation, you know, all this shit. You know, kind of like, you know, it could be anybody. You can make your avatar sexy, but you could be anybody behind that and still making money and you're still making your paper and it's legal. So, you know, it kind of hurts the Twitch thoughts. It does. And it hurts these cam girls and shit, which is kind of funny because they've had a corner on the market and now they don't. You know what I mean? So it's well,
funny, that's the other thing. You when you sacrifice like these partisan politics and shit. It's like when these franchises fail, these people are out of work. People have to go collect unemployment because these projects, especially something as big as Star Wars, it made money for years. You know, these people, you can't keep paying people if you're not bringing money in from ad revenue, if you're not making money from box office tickets or selling merchandise. So people are going to be let go. We've heard about all the time on Clownfish TV. They're talking about, you know, they're letting people go from the theme parks that are playing the characters because they can't afford to pay them because they prioritized ideology over money.
Well, look at what they did with that theme
over
park.
Customers, over, you know, happy customers. That's not important anymore. It's more important that, you know, you eat what we give you because we think it's good for you.
They made the entire theme park after the sequel trilogy, which nobody likes. Seriously, nobody likes. It doesn't.
And Sal's mentioned that before too. That the toys that are selling right now are legacy toys, legacy characters. Back when things were good.
The only toys when I was in the store the other day looking, I bought my Robbie the Robot. I was looking at the Star Wars toys, and all of the action figures are still there. They've got Black Series. They've got those junk ass lightsabers. The only ones that there was like one of them left was the vintage series Jabba the Hutt's palace they got for like $50, and that's what I'm gonna tell my mom to get me for my birthday. Because that's going to look really dope sitting on my dresser set up with my other Jabba. Because my one dresser is like in here is like Jabba's palace set up. So like I need that. It looks fucking sweet. I'm like that's the only one I'm interested in getting because it looks like vintage. Like the new stuff, the new figures are just like blah. The only ones I kept were like the Stormtroopers I bought that were like, you know, Force Awakens or Last Jedi. Just the first order Stormtroopers because. If you're an army builder, you just buy Stormtroopers. You don't get.
Oh, dude, that's the other thing. How many times are we joking about in our little private chats that we have all day long, every day? We taking pictures every time we go to like a Five Below or Big Lots or something like that. There's just a wall of Captain Marvel and Rey figures that nobody wants.
I saw a really nice Beta Ray.
Little plastic girls, millions of them that little girls didn't go buy.
It was really difficult to pass up a Marvel Legends Beta Ray bill I saw yesterday. I was like, it was nice, dude. It caught my eye like that Loki figure I bought did that I gave to Trey. I'm like, I'll buy my Robbie the Robot and set it on the shelf until my birthday, then I'll open it up, you know. But so because I left it out, it's just sitting in the kitchen on top of the shelf, and Trey will walk by and be like, hey, let me push the button. So I'll push the button. He does his greetings, gentlemen. You know, he gets a kick out of that. He's sitting there and he looks at it. He goes, Dad? I'm like, yeah. He goes, when you open that? I'm like, yeah. He goes, it's mine. I'm like, huh? I'm like, no, man. I'm like, that's going in my office. He goes, no, that's gonna be mine. I'm like, all right, he's 4.5. I'm like, he's like, I run shit, Dad.
Claim display.
He don't play. He's like, you messed up the first time you
He's gonna brainwash into thinking it actually is his. Yeah.
Yeah, he will too, man. He'll take that. He'll try to take it from me. Like I said, I got that Loki, and that was gonna be mine. I'm like, I wanted it because I missed the Doctor Doom one, and I haven't seen it. If I see another one, I'm gonna snag it. But yeah, man, that fucking, I was like, God, I want that beta. My wife's looking at me going,
you know what though, Pete? You know why all this retro shit is hot right now? Like all these retro toys and
because the new shit sucks.
80s movie, exactly. People want to go back to when things were simpler.
Yep.
You only get nostalgia once the current time sucks. No one got nostalgic for the 80s and the 90s. And the 90s we had fun in the 90s.
The 90s was,
dude, in the 90s, even in the early 2000s, I had no idea that entertainment would be so bad like it is right now. I never thought that it would. I thought that things would only get better, and they've gone from bad to awful in just like a really short amount of time.
Well, look at the entertainment we got in the 90s up through, like you said, the early 2000s. Look at the movie. We're getting some cool, fun movies.
Yeah,
I mean, you
didn't really have to think. Like I used to look. My favorite time of the year used to be like right now, because like right now they start showing all the trailers for the big summer blockbusters. Yep. Now it's like they're not coming out with that stuff in the summer anymore because nobody's going to the movies in the summer because they give you a really shitty selection. They're pushing everything to November, so now you got a crowded November instead of a crowded summer. They never get it right. They never space this shit out right. And they don't, and even when what they're putting out, you're looking through, let's say, shittier, even more shittier. Well, fuck, I guess I'll stay home and watch Netflix.
Speaking of November releases, in November 2021, when Thor 4 comes out, did you guys see that announcement today? I'm actually going to do a video about it tomorrow. They are going to work in the Guardians of the Galaxy into Thor 4 now. So this is
that was coming.
Oh yeah, but there was questions about it because of the James Gunn situation and what was going to happen with that. Well, because Guardians was supposed to come out this phase, it was supposed to be in phase 4.
Guardians was supposed to come first. I remember that.
Yep, but because of the James Gunn situation with him going over and doing the Suicide Squad and him getting fired from Marvel over the tweets, the old tweets, and now being brought back, that pushed him back. So now you got Christian Bale. And you're going to get the Guardians of the Galaxy in Thor 4, and I'm not excited for that movie at all. But now it's like, well, you got the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, so I might just go watch this dumpster fire burn and see what happens because I like the Guardians, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too.
I do.
I don't think I've ever said this on a stream. I'm saying it now. I get why Alex hates Ragnarok so much because that was the catalyst for all of this shit. It's like.
People like to say, it's Guardians of the Galaxy fall. I was like, no, here's the difference with Guardians. Guardians actually was funny. I don't like James Gunn. James Gunn can do comedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's good at. And look, you had scenes where when his mom, Star-Lord's mom dies, you get to breathe it in. I was like, Taika Waititi, don't do that.
No.
You got to throw a joke in there.
Yep.
I was like, no, man. It was. I wouldn't even say Ragnarok. I would even still go say, even though they hadn't quite exaggerated just yet, I would have said Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
basically a comedic character.
Yeah,
it was. I was going to say David Spade. It was just James Spader playing James Spader.
Yep.
And probably the worst casting I've seen since Jessica Alba.
But you started taking that's the catalyst for when they started taking characters and turning them into comic relief. And I think that's what they tried to do with Finn in Star Wars. I think they tried to make him the comic
Ryan
relief.
Johnson fucked him over.
Because I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to turn Star Wars into Marvel. Everybody wants to turn everything into Marvel. And it's no wonder that Martin Scorsese bitches about Marvel because look how it's destroyed your entertainment landscape. Everybody trying to make something into what it isn't when it was already a good thing to begin with. So while we're changing the stuff into something it isn't, let's also indoctrinate you with some political ideologies while we're at it.
And that's the problem. That's the issue, man. It's like I watched Thor: The Dark World last night again, and I'm sitting back going, you know what, man? I would kill for some Kenneth Branagh Thor right now.
Yeah,
like, seriously, I would.
The first one. You only did, and that's the best Thor movie.
The first one, yeah, okay.
I agree. That Kenneth Branagh movie was really good.
Yeah, the first one. The second one.
It's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. I was like, here's the thing: Thor's origin is boring. It kind of always was.
Yeah. Thor was a boring character, and then they turned him into
he was a boring character. I think the problem, the MCU, he was boring.
They play him up for laughs now, and it sucks.
He's the new Aquaman.
Yeah. And that's bullshit, man. That it's fucking ridiculous.
What everyone loves that because, like I said, people ask, "Well, what happened with Endgame? How did Thor get that?" I was like, "Here's the thing. Me as a hardcore Thor fan, I like what happened with Infinity War. It was like, oh, Thor got his balls back finally.
Yep.
He had these since Avengers 1. But the problem is, the casual fans who are used to seeing Thor be this big dumb bumbling idiot was like, But wait a minute, why is he beating up? He shouldn't beat up Thanos. Why isn't he tripping? Why is he making jokes? Why aren't the Guardians like, throwing pie in his face? There's like they're used to a Thor that's an idiot now. So what happened with Endgame? We had to make him fat, goofy, and idiot.
Yep. Oh, hang on. Here it is.
The new Thor is better.
The gauntlet's been dropped.
Leo Red.
No, don't get me wrong.
Nope. While I disagree,
I will defend Leo Red. He is absolutely right. Jane Foster will probably be a better Thor than Chris Hemsworth. You were right, Leo Red, buddy.
That fucking hurts, dude. That was another thing.
Over Chris Hemsworth any day of the week. See, me and Leo, we know.
See, I like Hemsworth as Thor. I just don't like Taika Waititi Hemsworth Thor. Like I just don't.
See, there's your problem right there. You like Hemsworth as Thor.
Don't you guys think it's sad though that all these people like Taika Waititi they literally get their rocks off on pissing on fans?
Oh, he does.
Yeah. He's just
like Ryan
shit,
Johnson.
Man.
He's Ryan Johnson with the ability to say whatever he wants because
they live for this shit.
Waititi.
They live to fuck with fans, man. And you just I don't understand why you would insult your customer base.
Yep, and that's I catch a lot of. It's funny because like there's been so many Marvel videos I've wanted to do because I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm still into the MCU because there's some shit I want to see yet. There's some things coming out. Like I'm still waiting for that Fantastic Four movie, which it'll come. And now that they're actually in talks with John Krasinski about possibly, getting in as Reed Richards, and they already talked to Emily Blunt, I'm like, that would be really cool if it's written well, if it's done right. I'm cool with that, But I still want to know who they're going to cast as, the other two, Thing and Blaze. That kind of scares me a little bit, but I'm into that. And there's
just say fuck it and get Chris Evans back.
I think that
we went through the multiverse and just another one.
They just changed his name. They call him Evans Chris.
So many people,
new actor.
So many people, they want to say, "Oh yeah, Fandom Menace, they're just a bunch of haters, just a hate mob and a hate group and all this." It's like these industries created us.
Yeah.
They kicked us out of everything there was.
Yep.
And then they expected us to just disappear?
You told me you didn't want my money, because of the color of my skin, basically. Because I'm a white dude. It's like I'm not Egyptian.
None of us in this panel right now would know each other if this shit wasn't a problem.
I'll always want your money, Pete. Don't worry.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give you some money.
Hey, look, I would. If they made a Fantastic Four, that one might pique my interest. I don't know if I would see it or not, but I want, because I think someone posted it today in Adam's group. Like, was it? Which superhero movie would you have liked to get a part 3?
Yeah, I saw that.
Movie. And I think a couple of us said, like, yo, Fantastic Four. Those movies are not as bad as people made them out to be. Jessica Alba was poor.
They weren't.
I was like, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is an awesome movie until you get to Galactus. Take Galactus out or fix them, and that's a classic on your hands.
Yeah, that Galactus reminds me of some Peter Goober shit.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Ultimate Galactus. They tried to do Ultimate Galactus is not cool. It's so uncool. They had regular Galactus in the comic books come in and kill it.
and they're gonna do. If they still go on and do that solo Silver Surfer movie, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna watch it. I like the character. I'm not gonna say I don't want to see that, And then they're still tossing around the idea of a solo Doctor Doom movie. You do that if they cast that right, take my fucking money, dude.
I don't think they're gonna cast it right. I as much as I would love a Doctor Doom movie, that's as good as like say Joker. I don't think they can. I don't think they can do it. I think they should have done that shit already.
Oh well,
I think they're gonna turn Doctor Doom into an Ultron.
Oh God, please no!
Oh please no!
And I'm not an Ultron. I'm not a big, huge Ultron hater. I enjoyed the movie.
I am.
I know it's got faults, absolutely, but I still like it because I just pretty much like James Spader and anything. I don't give a fuck. It's James Spader's the man. Either way you look at it, whether it's Robert California or the ice cream or what's his name from Seinfeld. The step skipper. When he was in rehab.
Ultron is he's just basically playing Robert California.
He's Raymond Reddington. He's Raymond fucking Reddington from the
Blacklist. The biggest problem Adam Sandler used to have for the longest time is like every role is just basically he's either playing Happy Gilmore or he's playing like the mentally handicapped.
Yeah, he's either drunk and yelling, or he's retarded and drunk and yelling.
Will Ferrell is basically playing like the mentally ill man-child, except for Anchorman. Anchorman is like the only real exception to that.
The first Anchorman was really good.
Yeah,
that was probably if I had to pick one Will Ferrell movie, I would probably pick that one.
I still like the second one, but it's nowhere near as good as the first one.
I like Step Brothers. That is, I like Step Brothers.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite movies with Will Ferrell.
There's a few I'll keep an eye out, but I just don't care about any Marvel. The only Marvel movie I care about this year is New Mutants.
Yeah.
And Venom 2.
Yep.
Venom 2. That's it.
I'm going to see Morbius. I'm going to see Venom 2. I'm going to see, I'll be there to see Black Widow, New Mutants, and I'm going to see Wonder Woman. That's DC, but I'm still going to see that opening night because it's Wonder Woman, and that movie's going to be fucking awesome. And that's everybody's freaking out because of the plot leaks and everything. I'm like, no, it still sounds good. Trust me.
Well, I just got done rewatching all the DC Christopher Nolan Batman movies. I watched them all in order, and one thing that I realized is, Dark Knight came out in 2008.
Yep.
That guy, Christopher Nolan, knows how to write a villain. For God's sakes, he's so good at it. Like he made all the villains in all those movies different from the previous one. He didn't try to keep doing the same joke. Now, some of them were better than others, I'll admit. Okay.
Yeah.
But all of them were unique in that they were believable, and you got their motivations, and they were scary. And I don't know why Marvel can't never figure that shit out.
You know what? Hold up. Manliness and motivation. I promise you, if DC had made Black Widow, everyone would have been black in that movie. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
We're all Batman. I'm the Batman.
I'm Batman. And you're Batman.
Ray Batman.
I'm Ray Batman. I'm Ray Wayne.
Ray Syphilis.
Ray Syphilis, yep.
Syphilis.
So did you see that goddamn? I don't know if you all caught that in my Batwoman review that they used Duella Dent in this episode.
Oh yeah, Joker. Is Duella Dent? No, that's not Joker's daughter, is it?
No, I don't.
I've heard of Duella Dent character. I've heard of her before.
Wait, is she Joker's daughter, but Harvey Dent's niece? Yeah.
Well, I think she calls herself Joker's daughter, but she's not actually his.
No.
Is she the one that wanted to make a coat out of Dalmatians?
Yeah, Joker only wants to bang Batman. Yes, I hate to break it to all you Harley Quinn shippers out there. Joker is totally gay for Batman. At least New 52 Joker. I think they confirmed it. He confirmed he's gay for Batman. He wants that bat schlong.
They already showed the bat dong. They're going to show Joker taking it now. That's the next step in evolution for the fucking DC Comics, unfortunately. What? They're like, fuck it, we're going out of business anyway. Why not?
DC Comics got a chance. Now that Dan Didio has been fired, it could go either way. DC, for the most part, isn't quite in that dangerous spot that Marvel is in all the time. Like, DC occasionally can put some good stuff out.
Yeah.
It just depends on who they bring in next. And I hope to God, if it's Brian Michael Bendis, they're screwed.
Marvel got in that position where they made so many changes to appease all these different demographics that their characters don't even resemble what they started off as anymore. You can't even recognize them. You can't even differentiate who these characters are.
Because the woman that's running Marvel Comics knows shit about comics at all. She knows nothing.
Even before she came, man, Joe Quesada and Axel Alonso. Marvel has so many problems. We could make a whole podcast out of that. Another problem, I hate to say it, was they cater too hard to the movie fans too. I swear to God, to this day, I don't know how it happened in the Spider-Man comic books. Shocker is black now, and I'm trying to figure out how that happened. Like, I was like, is it a new character? Because I know they made him black in Homecoming.
Because he can't be white, Alex. He's not allowed to be white.
They made him black in Homecoming, but now in the movie, it's the same character, Herman Schultz, the Shocker we grew up with since the 60s. He showed up in a recent Spider-Man book with Nick Spencer. Oh, God, don't get me started on that.
They did that with Nick Fury, too, yeah.
Well, even Nick Fury, they at least explained it was stupid, but at least they explained, like, Shocker's just black now. They just didn't explain why. He's just black.
There you go. Franchise says Duella Dent is everyone's daughter.
Duella Dent, what's a coat made out of Dalmatians?
Yeah, Marvel got weird with that. Like, look, I'll tell you right now, if I'm talking to someone about Marvel Comics and someone refers to them as the Infinity Gems, I will hug you right there. I'll be like, you mock. If you call it a gem instead of a stone, you mock people. Oh, these the Infinity Gem. I said that before. I was like, oh, yeah, Infinity Gem. No, it's stones, Alex. Shut up.
The only stones I care about are the Shankara stones and the stones from Fifth Element. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth. Yep, that's right.
Just for that, you would have multi-pass.
Yep, I get a multi-pass.
Multi-pass?
But you have to do a show with Ruby. I was going to say Ruby Rose. Ruby Rod. You got to do a show with
Ruby Rod.
Oh, yeah. Female hero. Whoops. That came out in 1997. How did that happen? That didn't exist before.
You're not allowed to do that.
No.
Are you retconning your fanhood?
Oh, yeah. Let's go back and change that.
I wish Marvel would stop being racist and make Storm cool again.
No shit. She's supposed to be in charge of the X-Men.
Yeah. Yep. Like, yo, she was the leader of the X-Men for decades. Like, people forget. Cyclops lost the right to lead that team in, like, the 80s. He didn't get it back to, like, the 2000s.
You know who'd be a cool Storm? Danny Newton, man.
Oh,
Danny Newton would be an awesome Storm.
See that. It's too bad the girl that plays Sophie on Batwoman has no talent, because she kind of could fit that role as Storm too. Megan Tandy, really like
that syphilis.
Deep cuts from another show.
Look, we saw Sex Madness. Syphilis kills acting abilities. Okay.
Damn it.
Just like the black goop from Black Christmas turns men into misogynist assholes.
Oh fucking A. That's
I'm right now for that.
Oh God, here's Leo Red. Lizzo. Oh God.
Let me see that thong, baby.
No.
I don't.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
And on that note,
I got nowhere to go from there. We're at about 2:10 right now.
I don't have a funny avatar for that one.
Yeah, no, God, please don't. This is about the point where we're gonna call it right here. We're gonna call it a show. It's been a great episode. Alex, you know how to make me smile right at the end of the episode, brother. You know how to make me smile right at the end of the story, right at the end of the stream.
A little too hard at my avatar, but to switch it back.
What's up, boo? What's up down there, boo? Oh wait, that's just Alex still. Damn it. No, this has been a great episode. I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And let me toss it over to Groove. You tell everybody what you got coming up here.
I'm going to probably try to make something a little bit different this week, because I am going to probably go see The Way Back with Ben Affleck. Hide me.
Sorry, I put Sal's comment up there for a minute.
I'll probably go see that Ben Affleck and review that. But also, I was thinking about doing a video about. I see a lot of bigger channels doing that, where they talk about their favorite movies from the last decade, because it's 2020 now, and I feel like if I wait any longer, that's going to like not be relevant anymore. So I'll probably do a video on that this week, just because I'm tired of bitching about pop culture. I'm like so beyond fed up with it and tired of it. And then this weekend, Raiders Lost Flicks Live, we've already chosen a movie. We're doing Laser Mission. Okay, so that's the Brandon Lee movie before The Crow. Spoiler alert, it's not as good as The Crow. Okay, it's
spoiler alert, bullet to kill Brandon Lee had syphilis in it. We got him on camera.
That's happening on my channel on Friday night. Other than that, I think the other big movie that comes out this week is what is it? I don't know. I have to go.
I can't remember.
To go back and see. Yeah, there's something else coming out this weekend. I can't remember which one it was though. But it's just another one of those weeks where there's a whole bunch of things coming out. I know My Spy is one of them, and
yeah, that one doesn't look bad.
Yeah, that one looks like it might be kind of good. I'm kind of anxious to see.
Bloodshot. Flare said Bloodshot's coming out.
Is Bloodshot this weekend? Because I have to see that movie. That one.
That looks really cool. Fucking good. Yeah. I know. I used my one movie trip this month on taking the boy to see Onward, because I was gonna go see Bloodshot because I thought it looked really cool. But I said, you know what? If it comes down to me going to see something by myself or taking the family, I said I'll take the family, and I don't regret it, man. Onward was fun. So.
Yeah, Onward was great. There wasn't really anything else out that weekend, so it wasn't hard to pick that one. But sometimes when I get like a handful of movies all coming out at the same time, I'll just like put a poll up in my group and let them vote on what they want me to review. So at least I know somebody's going to watch the review. At least I hope, you know.
Last time I put a poll up in my group, I got reported. I don't know what the fuck happened. No way. Never, we're talking about two different things.
Wrong poll, sir.
Wrong group.
Ruby Rose ain't there yet.
Not yet. I have a better chance of getting Rachel Scarston. I think I've been. I'm about ready to start like hitting her up on Twitter. Be like, "What's up, boo? I know you ain't making that much paper doing them doing that Batwoman show."
You loved her in the good Birds of Prey.
That's exactly what I lead with. I used to love you in Birds of Prey. Girl.
Oh, The Hunt. That's what's coming out this weekend. The Hunt.
Yeah. Are you going to see that?
Oh, I absolutely have to see The Hunt. Fucking 10 people in my group want me to see The Hunt, so I have to see that one. One of the people that voted for me to go see it's my brother-in-law.
I am very anxious.
My brother-in-law is a Republican too, by the way. So
I'm gonna sail the high seas and watch that one.
The Hunt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys really want me to review that, so that's happening. Yeah.
You're the Blumhouse guy. Blumhouse, whatever you say it. That's you, man.
Blumhouse did do Invisible Man, and that was good. So there's always that one.
They have like a baseball fucking like a shitty hitters percentage with their movies. Yeah. They're like batting like 222 with their fucking movies.
They're just enough to get traded, but not enough to go to the series.
Yep.
They put out some of the worst movies ever, and then turn around and put out some really good, entertaining movies.
Yep.
It's like, is this the same company? I feel like it's a 50-50 thing, like they lost a bet, and okay, well, person A has to make this movie, and executive B makes the next movie. I feel like that's what's going on.
I feel like The Invisible Man is to Blumhouse what Jedi Fallen Order is to EA. Okay, it's the best way I can describe it. So,
yeah.
Invisible got syphilis. Not letting the syphilis thing go. That's what you did.
Oh shit. Alex, what Alex has got coming up? Alex is just trying to be like the Bee Gees. He's just staying alive. He's chilling.
I am.
He's chilling.
Look, I finished Castlevania on Netflix. I recommend it. I'd still say, look, when you got 3 great seasons, one of them has to be by default the weakest. This one's probably the weakest, but it's still great. Wow, I look great.
You look really good. I'm gonna yeah. I'll leave Ruby Rose for you there, boo.
And now we're trying to finish Paradise PD. I love that show. That's traditional animation on Netflix.
So what do you do with a girlfriend like that? You have her open a jar of pickles for you, or?
Okay, first of all, if you can't open the jar of pickles, she don't want you.
Nope.
She don't want you.
No,
that's not true. I have dated a woman that was more muscular.
It's like, honey, I'm not trying to be condescending, but could you, yeah.
Oh,
it made me feel like a James Bond villain.
Yeah.
I feel like Sean Bean, man, from GoldenEye, man.
They, I was actually looking forward to reviewing. They pushed that back 6 months.
The Bond, yeah,
the Bond movie out, and there's some rumors that maybe it's because it didn't have such good screenings.
Yep.
Probably because people don't want woke James Bond. They're not ready for that shit.
Really got pushed back. LaShonda Lynch got syphilis.
LaShonda Lynch is syphilis. Shit.
Leave
No Time to Die. Coming out this week on the CW.
Leave my girl and her caterpillar eyebrows alone, all right? Shit. Fucking poor girl. I got, yeah. Anyway, let's see here. What have I got coming? Let's see. What do we got coming up here on the channel? Tomorrow you're going to get, maybe, I'm going to try to do at least a double header, triple shot of video uploads tomorrow. I'm going to be Mike Zero and hit like 3 uploads tomorrow. Then you got
future Star Wars content for us?
Future shit. All right.
Future shit.
That's how I do things. It's just future shit to reference a fucking horrible movie.
I can't find a clip of if anybody has a clip of Grace saying future shit from the Terminator. I will probably legit like do a favor to get that clip because I can't find it on YouTube. I don't want to buy that movie because fuck that movie.
I've got the Blu-ray sitting in my living room. I can get.
You have the Blu-ray. If you can rip a clip of her saying that, I'm going to use it on my show on a regular basis.
I can do it. I got to take it back tomorrow so I can.
That's my new term for every time you want to be lazy about your science fiction writing. Just future shit. We're not even going to explain it. Fuck you, future shit.
So we got you have 2 or 3 videos coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow night at 8:35 Eastern, right back here on the channel. Pete Daddy Dollar's Pad, the Super Happy Fun Time Pro Wrestling Podcast with myself, Brother Will Vendetta, Mad Dog Warren, the Mastermind Dave DuPont, and Benjamin Brody from IWE will be on hand. We'll have 5 of us. We're going to be doing a live match commentary tomorrow night. A lot of wrestling business coming up. Dave and Brody are both. Dave is over 20 plus years in the wrestling business, and Brody is around 15 right now. So we've got we're all five of us are or have been professional wrestlers at one point in our lives, or still are, like I said. So you're not going to find that on very many podcasts floating around the Fandom Menace or anywhere else. 5 workers all together at once talking shop. So tune in for that. Wednesday night, we are, as far as I know, we're doing a boardroom episode. Adam, you down for that?
As long as we can get enough people to do it, absolutely.
I know, I believe Sal's in Wednesday. He's in the ring. Salvador is...
Okay, yeah. If Sal's in, this is 100% happening. Yep. It's going to be your channel this time, right?
Yeah, I think we can do it right here.
Because we did mine, and Cody was before me. So yeah, you're up this week.
It's a good thing my streaming hours reset for my free plan here on StreamYard, because I'm almost running out. They reset on the 11th, which is Wednesday.
If it ever gets to that point, I'll host. But yeah, if you want to keep the rotation open, I think this time it's your turn.
Yeah, it is. So we'll do that here. So tomorrow night you got the wrestling podcast. Wednesday night you got the boardroom here. Thursday morning I'm doing a morning show with Tap and Die for about an hour. We're going to do a quick morning show here. Friday night I'll be over at Raiders of the Lost Flicks, and you're going to get single release videos out of me the rest of the week. So a ton of content coming this week out of the channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, bitch slap that like button, and I would like to thank every single one of you beautiful bastards for joining us this evening in the chat. Franchise History TV, Manliness and Motivation, the Don Salvador, Flair X, Keely Chow, Leo Red, the usual suspects. We're all here. I'm kind of bummed my troll didn't show up tonight, man. I'd like to thank my panel. Tony Tone Deaf was having some connection issues, so he had to bow out. He said thank you for having him on. Raiders and Lincoln 7, thank you guys for being on again, being great guests. And I am Ichep Okuin of the Place to Be Reviews. I have been here with all of yous. And what do I say at the end of the video? I say, if I don't see you, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Sleep tight. Keep your buttholes tight. Good night.
Beware the syphilis monster.
And Brie Larson's